Are gusty, and there is a chance of rain throughout. We've had the flip of the coin. Denver has won. They have deferred. So they will kick off. And taking care of that for the Broncos will be Brandon McManus. And deep back is Cordero Patterson, the #1 kickoff return man in the NFL. The Broncos, the Raiders, and this is out of the end zone. It is a touchback. It will be 1st and 10 at the 25. With a look at the quarterback, Derek Carr. He has thrown, Rich, a touchdown pass in 11 consecutive games.
Yeah, but he's struggling over the last 3 games. You look at the numbers right there, Kevin. He's got to find a way to get it out of his teammates. This is a talented roster on offense, but they have been extremely inconsistent, especially in the passing game. I really think they've got to be able to lean on the running game and start handing the ball off more to Marshawn Lynch.
Raiders losing last week in Mexico City, 33-8. Speaking of Lynch, he's at the side of Carr, 1st and 10. Marshawn Lynch trying to dig his way up. Looks like Simmons has got a hand on him and on the ball as he tries to look at him.
He doesn't go down easily.
Cannot pray, does not, does he? 31-yard line. It is a gain on the play of about 6 yards. Let's talk about the offensive line. Right tackle is Marshall Newhouse. Back after the injury, he will take on Von Miller today. What a chore. We just saw Marshawn Lynch. Rich has talked about him. He has run better since his suspension. What did Jack Del Rio say with more zest?
Yeah, he needs more opportunities, Kevin. We talked about less than 10 a game. That's not going to work. And you have to have a plan when you try and go in and tackle Marshawn Lynch. He'll attack you when you try and tackle him.
Broncos stay in their base, and that pass is overthrown to the tight end Cook with coverage by Simmons. It'll be 3rd down and 4. The Bronco D. Pecco has been steady and started each game anchoring the defensive front for the Denver defense. Coming in today, number 3, Von Miller is a top 10 player in sacks, but with just 1 in the last month. And Aqib Talib has been to 4 straight Pro Bowls. He and Harris have been to 3 Pro Bowls each of the last 3 years. It's 3rd down and 4. And Carr got away from him that time, looking for Roberts with the coverage by Bradley Roby. They throw to Roby more than any other defensive back in the secondary for Denver. Well, it is 4th down. They got a punt.
Excuse me, Kevin. 2 bad passes from Derek Carr to start the game. You wonder if the ball's a little slick. He's wearing a glove, which he normally doesn't wear on that left hand, but neither throw came out according to plan. You can see his right hand. It's soaked. You can see the leather from the football on his right hand.
So Marquette King is out there to punt for the Oakland Raiders. He is number 3 in net, number 3 in gross, and deep back is Jordan Taylor. Wind is minimal right now, and Taylor back at his 12. Melifonwu will bring him down. Nice tackle by the rookie out of UConn in the secondary for the Oakland Raiders. A punt of 56 yards. And they'll get the ball at the 21. Here's a look at quarterback Paxton Lynch. Becomes the 3rd different quarterback to start. His last start, Rich, was last season. He hasn't played since.
Yeah, and really, you look at this football team. What's holding the Broncos back more than anything is a lack of production and consistency at the quarterback position. Trevor Siemian had his struggles. Brock Osweiler had struggles. They made the change, obviously, with the coordinator going to Bill Musgrave, the former coordinator of the Oakland Raiders.
With that offset high on 1st and 10, C.J. Anderson. And he takes it into the grass with Corey James with a gain of 4 on the play. And he's out to about the 24-yard line. Let's see here. Right tackle has been an issue. Many different starters. Hands full today. Blocking Mack, and Alan Barber will start, taking the place of Menelik Watson, a former Raider. And wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders, the most explosive receiver in Rich Gannon's view, but a late injury list addition now. He's got an ankle that he's dealing with today. 2nd down and 6. Janovich was back there to block. He takes it up the middle. Just not a whole lot there with the stop made by Vanderdoes on the line. The Raider defense. And this has been an issue. Number 26, Khalil Mack, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, but just 1 sack in the last 6 games. Navarro Bowman, the ex-San Francisco 49er, now a Raider, and played well in 3 starts. He starts again this afternoon. TJ Carey is the leading tackler for the Raiders. 4 different starting left cornerbacks. Today, Sean Smith, Emerson out with the injury. It's 3rd down and about 6. Long 5. Bowles a block at the left tackle. Lynch, and he overshoots his intended receiver, Benny Fowler. With the coverage on the play by McDonald. And their punting unit will come out. And he had a receiver that time because Fowler was open.
Boy, he had him. You got to hit him. I mean, this is wide open in the National Football League. He had McDonald beat. They had the one-on-one coverage. He made the right read. He just misses the throw. Well, you don't get that many opportunities. Just a wide open receiver on a go route to start the game.
Riley Diggs in the punt. Here is Richard, who's back for the Raiders, and down the sideline it went and knocked out inside the 30-yard line someplace as they mark it off. Our clock here in the first quarter, 12:31. More at Derek Carr next on CBS. Here's a look at Jack Del Rio. It is a 1st and 10 after the punt by the Denver Broncos. Lynch will remain.
5-4. Monday. They got under now.
And the second possession for Derek Carr.
Hey, 5-4. 5-4. Monday. Damn! Blue 80. Zip.
Cooper's in motion. Lynch gets the call. And is brought down on the play by Miller. It is a gain of 4. Now let's take a look at your scouting report. He's out to the 24.
Well, the quarterback still, their guy that they have to go to, obviously, Derek Carr. You look at their issues, it's the lack of execution on offense. They have not been able to put together 4 quarters of football. You look at the Denver defense, despite the record, they're still a top 5 defense in every major statistical category. If there's a weakness, they've given up too many big plays, Kevin, through the air on the back end.
You've watched every game the Raiders have played this year, Rich, on tape this week. You said if it were up to you, you'd go to 24-15 as Harris is down. 24-15 or 87 is who you'd stick with.
Yeah, you got to get the ball in the hands of Lynch, Crabtree, and Cook. Those are the 3 best and most productive players right now. They need to be a focal point in this offense, starting with the running game and starting with Marshawn Lynch. You know, he had 3 carries to start the game last week against New England. They rushed for a first down. He takes himself out of the game. You can't do that. He's got to stay on the field. They've got to wear him out.
So Chris Harris is actually pointing over at the Raider bench and complaining about a low hit. Good to see him on his feet. You're talking about a Pro Bowler, one of the best in the business.
He's intense. We had a great visit with him last night. There was a bit of a scuffle in practice this week between Chris Harris and Isaiah McKenzie. I mean, you know, talking to the coaching staff, they said, hey, look, these guys are still competing. It's intense out there in the practice field. These guys don't like losing. And Chris Harris said as much last night in that meeting. He's not happy.
So the other corner is Roby at the bottom of your screen. Stewart and Simmons are the safeties. To lead there at the top of your screen, covering 2nd down and 6. More Lynch. We've seen a lot already. Into the pile he goes, trying to dig his way. Wolf among them, a couple down there, and Pecco with his hands right around his ankles. Oh, we have a fight on the other side. Look at this. After Crabtree, helmet's being thrown. Talib grabbed it off. Referee is down, and look at holding on to his ribs.
Well, that started with the block. That was Crabtree on Aqib Talib. Remember, there's some history between these 2 guys, and I think that's really where the fight started. Crabtree actually blocks him.
Look, we have another one right here.
Look at this.
Oh, and a swing right there.
This is crazy because now you're going to get ejected from the game. I mean, this is just selfish. When your own self-interest are more important than the team, then you put yourself and your team at risk. And that's terrible. You just can't do it. You got to exercise some self-control.
During last season's Week 17 meeting in Denver, Aqib Talib and Crabtree got into it, and he took that gold chain and ripped it off his neck, snapping it in half. And then moments ago, here's what happened.
Yeah, I think this. Look, watch this block. Look, and it doesn't stop there.
Wow.
I mean, you just knew that this was going to happen. And that's all on Crabtree right there. And then, of course, Talib, he retaliates. And then you've got Lyman in there, and this is just out of control. And now the officials are going to try and decipher what happened.
Now watch this now. Stay with this replay because Crabtree.
There's a good chance that he gets tossed. Wow.
They both took us. Look at that.
Yep, and the official, I think the first...
Oh, he got inside the grill of Talib with that hit. Crabtree did after Talib had thrown a punch.
And these are, you're talking about two of the best players. I mean, Crabtree's their best receiver. Aqib Talib's their best corner. I mean, that's just frustration. You've got a team that's lost 6 in a row in the Broncos. You've got a team like the Raiders that have lost 3 of their last 5. Boy, that's... Well, you could see it coming, though, couldn't you, Kevin? I mean, just... What's this? Wow.
Wow. You'd almost think, Rich, right off the bat, those two in particular would be gone.
Well, you don't know because the officials were on the sidelines trying to work through what happened. I don't know that the officials saw that sucker punch.
There are multiple flagrant fouls on the play. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 21, defense, and personal foul, number 15, offense. Those personal fouls will offset. However, both of those players are disqualified.
They're ejected.
You knew that was coming.
Yep.
Personal foul,
just can't do
number 66, offense, is disqualified for pushing an official.
Ooh, jeez.
That 15-yard penalty will be enforced after the play. It'll be 3rd down.
That's Gabe Jackson. That's your Pro Bowl right guard. I mean, talk about a costly mistake.
Now Talib has got to walk right through the Raider bench to get to the locker room, and Lynch is coming over there, and Lynch is going to escort him. How about that? Lynch is going to escort him out.
That's crazy. And that's a costly ejection as well. With that'll come a huge fine from the league office.
So the 4-time Pro Bowler Talib is gone. The leading receiver for the Raiders, Crabtree,
he's gone.
Is ejected, yet he still lingers on the sideline.
Well, he'll have to grab his helmet and head to the locker room. And also, Kevin, Gabe Jackson, the right guard, has been ejected.
So the new right guard is John Feliciano. And remember now, Chris Harris was injured. Chris Harris has just come back out on the field.
And there goes Crabtree to the locker room.
And then he leaves. So Harris has come on and come off. Roby will be one cornerback. And Brandon Langley, a rookie out of Lamar, will be the other cornerback. The 2 Pro Bowl cornerbacks for the Denver Broncos are out right now. 3rd down and 15. Here comes Carr. And there goes a 1st down completion to Roberts. Roby was there with the initial hit. Will Parks comes in there too. The gain to the 35. A 20-yard pickup. And an Oakland Raider 1st down.
Now you have to quickly shift gears, both teams. I mean, you're going to be without some key players. That affects the game plan, obviously. Chris Harris is back on the field. I think Denver has enough corners to play in the secondary. They've got a lot of depth and talent there, but you look at how it's going to impact Derek Carr, losing a Pro Bowl guard and a Pro Bowl wide receiver in Crabtree, who's really his go-to guy in critical situations.
DeAndre Washington is the new running back, and it's 1st down and 10, and Washington gets the call. Tries to go in. Get on the play maybe by Shelby Harris, a former Raider who makes the stop. It is a gain of 2. Harris with the stop to the 37-yard line of Oakland.
And you mentioned the weather. You know, the issue here, not so much the wind, but it's the playing surface. This surface does not drain particularly well when you get rain. We had a lot of rain earlier today, and so you can see that players going to be struggling, especially between the numbers and more importantly between the hashes, and that can really affect the running game with guys like Marshawn Lynch.
Lynch is back in, nickel secondary, 2nd down and 8. Here is Lynch cutting well inside, and then Stewart will get him from the side and out to the 44. Rich with a gain of 8.
Well, I think going forward, you need to wear out this guy right here. You need to wear out the tires on Marshawn Lynch. He looks quick and explosive to me when I study him on tape. He hasn't had a ton of work so far this season. He had 18 carries in week 1 for a season-high 76 yards, and he hasn't come close since. they haven't used him enough in the offense.
He's going up against the number 4 run defense. In the first meeting, 9 carries and 12 yards for Lynch. 3rd down and 1 with a couple tight ends. Lynch will dance, and Simmons holding on for dear life. Second leading tackler brings them down. They lose 2. It's back to the 43, and the punting unit once again out there for the Raiders.
Well, you look at the penetration on the left side of that offensive line. I mean, great job by that Denver defense just walking back the left guard and left tackle. Marshawn Lynch had nowhere to go with the ball.
Marquette King will once again punt for the Raiders. 2 possessions and 2 punts for Oakland. First quarters, they've been outscored by 13 points this season. Oakland has. Fair catch signaled for and allotted to Taylor. He's at the 23. Hang of 4-2-8 with a punt that time of 33. No score. 8:53 in the first.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Verizon. Best gifts on the best network. And by your local Lexus dealer. Make this a December to remember.
Broncos with a new offensive coordinator, a new quarterback, and a new series 1st and 10 after punting the first time they had it. Fake to C.J. Anderson, Paxton Lynch, Janovich the fullback, and Smith makes the stop near the 45. Catch and run at 20, 1st down Denver. And a flag.
Holding, number 72, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
The rookie out of Utah Bowles.
Correction, number 73.
Let's go back to the fight. You're going to see right there Gabe Jackson. He comes in and he actually pushes the official to the ground as he's trying to get with Shane Ray. I mean, it's just...
The official looked hurt, too. You see him holding onto his chest? That wasn't good. First and 20. There's just not a whole lot there for Anderson. Hit by a couple, including Irvin. It is a gain of 4. He's out to the 23. Tell me about Bill Musgrave, the new coordinator and the guy that he replaces in Mike McCoy.
Well, he found out Monday, and of course, not an easy situation, but he does have experience, Kevin. He's got 11 years experience as a play caller. He was obviously the coordinator here last year with the Raiders in Minnesota with Mike Tice. You look at Jacksonville, he was in Philadelphia, so he was actually fired after going 12-4 last year with the Raiders, was the quarterback coach, and now takes over from Mike McCoy. Not a lot he can do. He can't scrap the playbook, but he can make some subtle adjustments along the way.
5 in the secondary on the 2nd down and 16. It's C.J. Anderson once again. Looked like Mack had the initial hit. Also getting hit by Urban. It is a gain of 4 again. He's up to the 21.
Well, you look at Billy Musgrave. He played for the Broncos. He was a quarterback coach early in his career. We mentioned the coordinator for the Raiders. Did a great job with the young Derek Carr, of course, was the quarterback coach. And doesn't have a lot of experience with Paxton Lynch. You know, he's kind of learning on the fly with this guy. Didn't play, obviously played in the preseason, but he was hurt the last 8 weeks, and so he's only been back on the practice field a couple weeks.
Still the nickel. 3rd and 12. They need the 34. Paxton Lynch dumps it off to Charles. Hit on the play by a couple, including Bowman. They lose 6 on it. They go back to their 16. Rain has not fallen, and they're going to welcome it back to the sideline. Another punting situation coming up for Denver.
And he's going to be very conservative with Paxton Lynch. I would anticipate a heavy reliance on the running game, some of the quick game, getting the ball out of Lynch's hands quickly, some play action shots, and finally, I would anticipate moving the pocket. You know, the boots and naked, something that Paxton Lynch has done a nice job of in the past.
Riley Dixon to punt again. Deep back, they got Richard. Got a block by McGill and then brought down by Fowler. It's a 47-yard punt. 2 possessions, 2 punts for the Raiders so far. Todd Downing is the offensive coordinator. He takes the place of Musgrave, who had been in that position for the previous 2 years here in Oakland.
And he's starting to feel the heat a little bit, Kevin. They've struggled. The quarterback has regressed. You look where they're at. They're 21st in total offense. They're 27th versus the run and just 14th versus the pass, despite the fact that they've got a Pro Bowl quarterback in Derek Carr.
It is 1st and 10. Screen pass. Lynch. Look at Pecco running from behind. The 11-year player with Cincinnati. Flag thrown. They're going to lose some ground on that, about a yard, back to the 45.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 56, defense.
Shane Ray.
15-yard penalty, first down.
Ray will pick it up.
Yeah, he gets a hand in the face of Derek Carr up around the face mask. He's going to be coming up the top of your screen. They're throwing the screen pass. So they're going to turn him loose. You see Newhouse, and then right there he just strikes the face mask of Derek Carr.
Quick update, some housekeeping on that defensive line for Denver. Jarek Wolf is out for the rest of the game with a neck injury. In that last play, that first down, they had 6 in the secondary, so we'll have to watch and see how they compensate for the loss of the potent Jarek Wolf on the line. 1st and 10. Gotsis is in that position right now. Here comes Lynch, and Miller with a nice stop. Got some help from Brandon Marshall. There is no gain. They stay at the 40-yard line of Oakland.
Well, you look at this Denver defense. They played so well to start the season. They were 3-1, and they were just rocking and rolling. And then, you look at the last 6 games, they have struggled. I think there's some reasons for that. The special teams play has been awful, and they've been put on some short fields. And the offense has turned the football over 17 times in 6 weeks. You look at Joe Woods there. This is still a top 5 defense in just about every major statistical category, but they have struggled a little bit getting off the field on 3rd down and in the red zone.
2nd down, 11. Here comes Lynch. You wanted to see Lynch, Rich. You're seeing a lot of him. He gets by Marshall, then put down by Chris Harris. And it looks like he loses a couple on the play. They're going to push him back to the 42-yard line. Nice aggressive defense. And a loss of on the play 2.
There's Brandon Marshall. It's a good tackling unit. They have the 2nd fewest number of missed tackles so far this season. Really just 36 through 10 games. And Joe Woods really preaches discipline and technique and fundamentals. Using the boundary, understanding where your leverage is at, but they're an excellent tackling defense.
They've not had any takeaways, this defense, in 2 straight games. 8 quarters and no interceptions in 3 straight games. And no to lead now ejected along with Crabtree earlier on 3rd and 13. They need the 29. Carr will go down. Shelby Harris comes through with the hit. It is the 3rd sack for him. Drafted by the Raiders in 14, played here in 15. Now a Bronco, they lose 5. Shelby Harris.
Just really nice penetration. Von Miller, he's going to start it upfield. That forces Carr to step up and right into the waiting arms of Shelby Harris.
Miller got a hand in there too. We'll have to see how they credit that. Maybe it's a half sack as they've got Taylor back to get the Marquette King punt. He's having a career year. Wind is negligible right now. We had gusts of 15 earlier on. Fair caught at about the 8. Another position coming up for Lynch, although it's deep in his own zone. 37-yard punt. Nice D by Denver.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com. And by Novodisc. Learn more at heartoftype2.com.
Oakland Aviation Museum housed the original Boeing School of Aeronautics. Rich, you feel the Denver Broncos need to know what Lynch is, right? This could be the beginning of their future.
Yeah, they have to find out about their former #1 pick. They just can't go into the offseason unsure about the quarterback situation.
1st and 10 handoff here. It goes to Devontae Booker. He picks up 4. He's brought down on the play at about the 11-yard line.
Well, I went back and watched every throw from last year. He played against Atlanta and Jacksonville. He's got a strong arm. There's no question about that. The touch and the accuracy are a concern. He can and will run with the football. He's got great feet for a guy that's 6'7" tall. Of course, the limited experience always a concern. And the playbook, I think they really have put together a plan that he can handle. They scaled down, I think, the volume for him this week.
Booker remains 2nd down and 6. This is what he can do so well. Yep. Gets a little block, gets the first down run. Paxton Lynch. John Gruden has a quarterback camp. He said he could be a poor man's Cam Newton. I mean, is that being too generous?
Well, poor man. I think we need to see more of his body of work. Let me put it that way. But look at him run. I mean, this guy is 6'7" tall. He's 245 pounds. Kevin, as I went back and watched the film from last year, I watched the preseason. He played in a couple games before he got hurt against the Packers. I was really impressed with his movement and his mobility. He's got great escapability. We know about he's got a quick, smooth, high release. He's got to work on the accuracy and the footwork from the pocket.
Demaryius Thomas with the block by Fowler. Knocked out of bounds right there by T.J. Carey on a gain of 3. One thing is they're trying to balance, and you appreciate what the Broncos are going through, Rich. They're trying to balance saving the season at the same time, looking ahead, looking to the future for Coach Vance Joseph.
Yeah, I really think the key for obviously Paxton Lynch, Kevin, it's really simple. I mean, this is a defense that has really struggled in the passing game. Every throw, you've got to be able to find a completion. Every play, there's a completion out there. Someone's going to be open. Just find a completion.
Fake to Booker. Here comes Lynch. First round pick. Batted down nicely by Mack. Khalil Mack getting in the way of that pass from Paxton Lynch. 3rd and 7 coming up.
This is why this guy is so good. I mean, this is one of the best pass rushers in football. And you just see him. He's out there on the edge knocking this ball down. This is what they want to do with Paxton Lynch. They want to move the pocket. He's much more comfortable right now, I think, throwing the ball outside the tackle box.
Change of the defensive coordinator. Ken Norton let go earlier this week. John Pagano, who the last couple of years has been with the San Diego, now LA Chargers, has joined this Raiders staff in the offseason. Assistant head coach in charge of defense, elevated to defensive coordinator. 3rd down and 7. They blow that dead in mid-motion. Referee Walt Anderson.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Just simple things like, just handling the volume and the menu of the playbook and getting in and out of that huddle quickly and getting the playoff, Rich.
Yeah, that's the basics of playing the position. You look at John Pagano there, Kevin. The reality of it is we have 2 new coordinators. Bill Musgrave for the Broncos and John Pagano for the Raiders. At this point in the season, neither unit is rewriting the playbook. I mean, what you have is what you've done through the first 10 games of the season. You can make subtle changes, but nothing dramatic.
5 defensive backs, 3rd and 12. Gets by Mack on the run, needs the 32, and short as Bowman will stop him at about the 29 and a scramble of 8. Flag has been thrown. Back at the 12.
Another penalty and they'll punt.
Holding number 73. Offense. That penalty has declined. 4th down.
Rich, that's a 2nd on the right tackle, Barber, and you've been watching a lot of tape of him this week, and you think he's been struggling.
Yeah, he's gonna need a lot of help with Khalil Mack. He's really struggled in pass protection. Kevin, you and I saw him, I think, his first start of the season against the Los Angeles Chargers, where he really had a rough go of it against 2 of the better pass rushers in the game, in Ingram and Boza.
It's in the front. Wow, just about blocked there by Eric Harris. Richard waves it off. It'll roll inside the 30-yard line. Last place, Denver. 3rd place in the West, Raiders. Going head-to-head today, 3-7 Denver team. Tonight, there are no judges, no courts, no police, and no crime. How does it all work? 60 Minutes visits an enchanting island tonight. Only CBS 46-yard punt.
Well, if I'm offensive coordinator Todd Dowling of the Oakland Raiders, Kevin, I'm really going to look at what New England did and Philadelphia did against this Denver defense earlier this season. They took Von Miller out of the game by doubling him or chipping him with virtually every drop back pass, and then they attacked inside between the numbers to avoid the corners. Talib and Harris, obviously Talib out of the game, but that's where you got to do your damage. Work inside the numbers and avoid these outstanding corners.
Lynch has already carried it 6 times. Just wanted to see more of him, and he's gotten a nice diet of him. There's Pecco wrapping up Lynch on that 1st and 10 with not much there, maybe a yard. Let's put him at the 29.
When they throw the football, I really think that you've got to be able to attack the linebackers and the safeties. And you look at the Raiders, Kevin, I mentioned, Lynch, Crabtree, and Cook. Well, Crabtree's gone. Now Cook is the tight end. And that's really where they've got to be able to, I think, to shift their focus. go after these linebackers and safeties. That has to be a favorable matchup for the Raiders today.
Harris playing in the slot, as you see. 5 in the secondary. Talib has been ejected. Crabtree has been ejected. Jackson, the right guard, is out. 2nd and 9. Oh, it's a fumble, and it's picked up by Barrett. Shaq Barrett gets the loose ball, and a fumble right there by Carr. First fumble of the season.
On the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
And a sack.
And down by contact. First down.
For the 4th-year player Barrett, his 4th sack of the season.
Just watch this. Watch what he does to Donald Penn's hands. Watch how he knocks his hands down right there. And now he's able to beat him over the top. Now Penn knows he's got a holding penalty if he grabs any more. And you see Shaq Barrett. That's a great looking rush. And then he has the smarts to fall right on the football. That's a big turnover for an offense that has struggled the last couple of weeks.
So few takeaways by that Bronco defense. And a lot of turnovers for the offense of late. In fact, the Raiders, in a little less than 4 games, have 9 giveaways in about 3 games and a quarter. Not good. In the backfield is Booker. It is 1st and 10. And takes it into a thicket of defenders and works his way near the 20-yard line. Is hit by Bowman and Irvin and Mack. The linebackers getting there. Gain of 4, Rich, down to the 20-yard line.
Well, I've really been impressed with Devontae Booker over the last couple of weeks, and so is the Denver coaching staff. He's the total package. He can run, he can catch, he can block, and he's seen an increase in his reps and workload because of his performance.
Paxton Lynch, 2nd down and 6. Into the nickel. Fake to Booker. Here comes Demaryius Thomas looking for a block from Latimer. And covered well that time by Morrow and Joseph. Both getting in there, making the stop, and a gain of a yard. That's the end of the first. Raiders and Broncos, and no score on CBS.
The end of the
60 degrees, rain, wind, no score after 1. 3 punts by Denver. 4th possession right now on the fumble by the quarterback, Derek Carr. Barrett caused the fumble, stripped the ball. 3rd and 6. 3 and 7 Denver, 4 and 6 Oakland. Booker out of the backfield, and they're going for Booker. He's got the matchup he wants. Touchdown! Beating Morrow, the linebacker, and that's the matchup they were looking for. Barrett's strip sack keys it for the Broncos. 20-yard touchdown pass, and the Broncos are on the board. And Lynch with the touchdown pass.
Yeah, they got the matchup they wanted. They had the linebacker in man-to-man coverage. And you look at Morrow there, he's going to get screened, and then this is just a little wheel route, an easy throw for the quarterback, Paxton Lynch, to Booker.
First touchdown reception. Did he have the ball? Looked like he did. Covered, held. With the matchup he wanted, Lynch looked calm, Rich. In back. Let's see now if that...
The question is, does the ball move? It looks like he's got possession, but then when he goes to the ground, does the ball move? That's the thing that the officials will be looking at. Well, it's really hard to tell. Like he trapped it. Clearly he catches
Watch the knee, though. Watch the knee here, Rich, and see if that is down.
Yeah, but is the ball across the goal line?
We can't see from that angle right there. Looks like it may be across. The native of Sacramento, Devontae Booker. Knee. Again, our angle is not the one we need on that one. Let's watch right here. This might give us a better indication.
Well, he's got to maintain possession of the football.
The receiver caught the ball, but is down by contact at the 1-yard line.
Knee, right?
It'll be 1st and goal at the 1.
19-yard pickup.
They're looking at 2 things. First and foremost, did he catch the football? And then, of course, was he down?
And number 94, both reporting as eligible. 60 and 94 eligible.
Good concentration there by Booker to hold on to that. So he was going to the ground.
Pecco will come in as a fullback. Booker is back there. 1st and goal. Booker. He goes around Janovich and stuffed. You see Mack, you see Autry, you see the pile of defenders there with no gain. 2nd down and goal.
A nice play by Corey James, and Navarro Bowman. You see Mack there as well. Barely made it back to the line of scrimmage. You're going to throw the ball, this is where you throw it. You don't throw the ball on 3rd and goal. You throw it on 2nd and goal.
Pecco.
Same formation, maybe play action right here.
Pecco is still in. 2nd down and goal. Janovich, the fullback, a fake. Lynch, Autry chases, and look out, it's intercepted. It's picked off. Bowman on the ground, and look what he found. How about that? First interception by the Raiders this season, and it comes in the end zone.
Rolling on the field is an interception by the defense for a touchback. First down at the 20-yard line.
The long road of no interceptions has come to a close for Oakland, it would appear.
Real dangerous throw. He never was really able to get his shoulder square. He tries to fit that one in there to Virgil Green. Navarro Bowman, he tips it. The safety tips it as well. Reggie Nelson right into the waiting arms of the linebacker.
That's a pick.
What a great looking play by Navarro Bowman.
They had gone an NFL record 11 plus games without an interception.
Look at that first interception.
That's
in the last
amazing.
357 pass attempts.
Think about the Broncos. They thought they were in with the touchdown, and they throw it away. And here is the handoff on 1st and 10. DeAndre Washington for 5, and he's up to the 25. Marshall was there, then Davis the linebacker, and Lynch threw into a thicket of Raider defenders.
Well, that's why they made the change at coordinator. Kevin, look, they've had an NFL high 17 turnovers since week 6, and they've got 24 on the season. The only team that has more right now are the winless Browns. Turnovers have been killing the Broncos.
They're on a minus 17. Can you believe that? In the giveaway, takeaway, Holton is a receiver on a 2nd down and 5. Washington, big hole. Nice block by Smith, the tight end. Then brought down by Davis and Brandon Marshall. It's a burst of 11 and a first down for the Raiders. Put the ball near the 35, 34-yard line. You're right, they wanted to simplify, Rich, the offense.
You just can't win when you turn the football over, and it's been a big problem for this team. They play well enough defensively. They've struggled a little bit the last couple weeks with their special teams units, but the turnovers from their offense have been just too much to overcome.
It's Lynch who's back in on 1st and 10 and devoured that time by Zach Kerr. And a gain of 2 to the 37-yard line. Bowman getting the interception on the ricochet.
This is still a really good defense, Kevin, as I study the tape. They're top 5 defense in just about every major statistical category. Number 3 overall, number 4 against the run. They're only giving up 85 yards a game on the ground. They're 5 against the pass, averaging less than 200 yards a game through the air. They make you earn it. You got really good pass rushers and cover corners, and that's really the formula for being a top 5 defense.
2nd down 8 with time, throwing a dart, caught by Lynch. And it takes a village to bring him down. Marshall got him, and others. He says, I'm still on my feet. Don't blow that whistle. Gain of 20 and a first down to the 43-yard line of the Broncos.
He's intense. They just want to try and work the middle of the field, really attack these linebackers in coverage with their tight ends and running backs. And you better bring your big boy pads when you try and tackle Marshawn Lynch. As I said, he'll attack you when you try and tackle him. He doesn't go down easily.
Lynch, by the way, coming off his best running game last week in Mexico City against the Patriots. Then they got behind and they couldn't give it to him much in the second half, but he's had his fingerprints on this one for sure. Washington in, 1st and 10. And he takes it inside the 40-yard line before Pecco and others are there. There's Harris says he's got the ball, and flags all over the place. And
I think they're going to call forward progress.
Gain of 4 to the 39.
That'd be a face mask.
Ruling on the field, the runner's forward progress was stopped. Personal foul, face mask, number 50. Defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Zaire Anderson will pick that up.
Somebody comes in there. Right there.
Left-handed.
Yep, he's just yanking the helmet. Can't do it. That'll let go.
Raiders come into this game having lost 6 of their last 8 after starting the season 2-0, then lost 4 in a row. 6 consecutive losses for the Broncos, Rich. First 6-game single-season losing streak since 1980. And in 1990, excuse me, for Denver.
They haven't been as dominant defensively. We've talked about some of the struggles that they've had in the kicking game. And the quarterback play has really held back the Broncos. There's no question about it. You've got, obviously, Osweiler's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns. Trevor Sidney has done the same. And now they're relying on their second-year signal caller, Paxton Lynch.
Richard was in, blocked by Cook. 1st and 10. Downfield it goes for the tight end, Lee Smith. 5th catch of the season. 13-yard pickup brought down by the linebacker Davis to the 12 of the Broncos.
Well, they like this quarterback movement. The boots and naked, something Carr is good at. You don't see enough of it, though. He's able to find his tight end back across the field, working against Todd Davis. Good throw on the move from Derek Carr.
Remember, no Crabtree, ejected with Talib and Jackson on the fight earlier in the game.
And this is where you miss him, Kevin.
Yes,
down the
right.
red zone.
Good
He's
point.
a taller receiver that will go up and high point the ball. Threw a lot of fake passes to Crabtree in this part of the field.
Richard back there looking for a block. Cook will lead the way. Brought down by Darian Stewart. Down to about the 4. 5'8" Jalen Richard, undrafted out of Southern Miss. Gain of 8 on the play.
Well, they do a nice job. They're going to pull. You see the perimeter run. And a little late getting off the ball, Smith, but look at the pull there. You see a nice kick out block. Cook comes around. He's able to clean up the edge, and then you get the back one-on-one with the safety, Darian Stewart.
Red zone efficiency for this Raider team, number 4 in the NFL. 62% of the time they score touchdowns. Lynch is in. 2nd and 2.
Blue 80, is it?
Lynch and a flag. Gotsis among a couple others in there.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 73, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Marshall Newhouse, the right tackle for Coach Jack Del Rio.
They had an unbalanced line, so what happens is you're going to move the right tackle, Marshall Newhouse, to the left side. He's actually over here. He's going to see him flinch a little bit. But you've got the left tackle. He's going to jump right there. You see him move a little bit just before the snap?
It was a hair, wasn't it, huh?
Yep, and they had the tight end Smith on the right side. They're trying to fool him.
2nd down, 7. They can get the 1st if they get to the 2. Carr to the end zone. Touchdown, Cooper beating Langley. And it was the interception by Navarro Bowman, the first of the season for the Raiders, which sets it up.
This just makes sense. Go after their 4th best corner. You see Langley there. He just gets beat with Cooper's little inside move to the slant. And that's good football. Remember, you've got to keep Talib out of the game. You've got Chris Harris. You've got Bradley Roby. Why not go after Brendan Langley?
Tavecchio will try to tack on one more. Derek Carr has thrown a touchdown pass in 12 consecutive games with the extra point through. 7-zip. Cooper caught it, but it was Navarro Bowman as it was bouncing off bodies, and then he reels it in. Sets up the possession and the 9-yard touchdown pass. Well, that's what happened after Bowman got the ricocheted ball in the end zone that put Carr at his 20. Some big plays. Washington ran for 11. Smith caught one for 13. Lynch caught one. Rich for 20. They get the 9-yard touchdown pass. That'll be out of the end zone. Touchback to the 25, 1st and 10 for Denver. What a week it's been with quarterback play. Certainly the focus. And Phillip Rivers in Dallas was spectacular on Thanksgiving. And that cannot be the same said for Alex Smith, who is really struggling. 5-0 beginning for the Chiefs. Rich, they're now 6-5. A win by the Raiders. We would have 3 teams within a game in the rugged AFC West.
Yeah, it's amazing when you look at really the reality of the situation for the Raiders, Ken. As bad as things seem right now, they're just 1 game out of the division lead and still very much in play for a wild card. You look at Kansas City, they're in a free fall right now. They've lost 5 of their last 6 after a disappointing loss at home today to the Bills.
Second-year quarterback Paxton Lynch will hand off to C.J. Anderson on 1st and 10, hit by Trayvon Hester. Down low, gain at 2, 26-yard line.
Well, look, they've got to be able to run the football. If they can't do that with C.J. Anderson, Devontae Booker, then they're in for a long day, because I don't believe they want to ask Paxton Lynch just yet to carry this team on his shoulders. He's not capable of doing that just yet. And the other thing is, there's not a lot of history between Paxton Lynch and Bill Musgrave. Bill Musgrave told us last night, look, this really isn't my offense. It's a different system for him. The cadence, the formations, the protections, the verbiage.
Into the nickel, 2nd and 9. Lynch on the screws that time. That is Demaryius Thomas, and he's hit by Sean Smith, a veteran. 30-yard line, 4-yard gain.
I still believe that they've got to be. Look at Sean Smith. Look how soft he plays. Look, they've got to be able to attack this secondary. I mean, you can't get back on that plane to Denver and not go after this Raiders secondary. They have really struggled. Got to take some shots against these corners.
So think about Lynch. He's on his 2nd head coach, his 3rd offensive coordinator, and this playbook, like you said, with different verbiage, is not what Musgrave would have come up with at all.
No, I don't think Bill Musgrave really knows what to expect with Paxton Lynch. Look, it's just his 3rd career start. Every series out is a learning experience for the young quarterback.
3rd down and 5. Oh, they come up the middle. Nice sack right there by Autry. 2nd of the season, the undrafted player out of Mississippi State. They throw him for a loss of 10 back near the 20. Here comes the punting unit again for Denver.
And you're always concerned about Khalil Mack, that you wind up a little TE stunt where the Mack goes up inside. You see Autry there. He's just fighting with the right guard, and quarterback holds it a little bit too long. Leary not able to hold on against Autry.
He took Leary and just threw him aside. Here comes Riley Dixon to punt again for the Denver Broncos. They've lost 6 straight coming in. Last win, in fact, was against this Raider team. And dancing right there, Richard, hit by Latimer, 39-yard punt, but look where they start, near midfield. Touchdown pass of 9 yards to Cooper after the pick by Bowman. 7-zip Raiders.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Garmin. Get a Garmin smartwatch and beat yesterday. And by Macy's.
Raiders with their first true home game in more than a month. They play Kansas City here back on the 19th, but they've been on the road. They played Mexico City in what was a home game for them last week. Good beginning field position right here, Rich, at their 48.
Really good.
With Lynch, 1st and 10. Penn with the block. On the move and off to Roberts. With the coverage on the play by the linebacker Brandon Marshall. Pickup of 6. They'll put him at the 46-yard line of Denver. Well, Thursday, it's an NFC East showdown. The Washington Redskins and Dallas Cowboys look to stay alive in the playoff hunt. Thursday Night Football on NFL Network, NBC, and streaming live on Amazon Prime Video.
Where the Cowboys just aren't the same without Ezekiel Elliott.
They're not.
And they're in a free fall as well. Embarrassing loss at home on Thanksgiving to Philip Rivers and the Chargers.
Lynch, 2nd and 4, blocked by the tight end Lee Smith. Legs never stop, do they? Never stop going. And that time he is hit and brought down by Kerr.
Keeps those legs churning. And, as I studied the tape this week, Kevin, to me, they've got to use him more. I mean, he's still a violent runner. He's still explosive. You may not be able to hand it to him 25 times a game, but that number, he's averaging 9 carries a game. That number has to get up to 15 to 18 a game.
Came out of retirement to play for a team he grew up watching. He's an Oakland native, is Marshawn Lynch. 6 1,000-yard seasons. Richard is now in. 1st and 10. Richard up the middle.
Good looking run.
And brought down by Todd Davis. A burst of 9, and he's down to the Denver 33.
You see the movement, and then you really do a running back by committee approach. You look at Jalen Richard, obviously Marshawn Lynch, You also see DeAndre Washington mixed in there as well, especially in third down.
Two-time All-Pro Lynch back in. 2nd and 1, Marchand. Running hard. Ray will bring him down. Flag thrown. Got to the 28.
This is really where he can help you.
Yes.
The attitude runs, the phone booth type runs. Physical, downhill, between the tackles. He's a one-cut runner.
Illegal hands to the face, number 51, defense. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Todd Davis.
Boy, they keep shooting themselves in the foot with these penalties. A couple hands to the face mask call. You look at Todd Davis there. He's got his hand on the face of the center, Rodney Hudson.
First and 10. Running back is Washington. And timeout taken by Derek Carr.
The play clock,
Well, we've seen a touchdown pass today by Carr. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Lowe's.
This is the first.
Rich, we've talked about it already, a takeaway by the Raiders. They're -8 now in that category. A year ago at this time, +10. I think that explains a lot why they're 4-6.
And it's a big reason why they're struggling. Kevin, you're right. And look, that's something that you got to get corrected. They're not taking the ball away on defense, and offensively they put the ball on the ground. They throw some picks. Very uncharacteristic for an offense that was #1 in that department a season ago.
See what they do here. Washington to the backfield, 1st and 10. Unable to hold on, incomplete, and there is a defenseless receiver. Cooper is prone. Big hit on the play, and that is not good.
No, he got hit right in the head.
Yep, look at.
It wasn't a great throw from Derek Carr. He led him into a head-on collision with the safety, Darian Stewart.
You just cringe when you see shots like that. You can see.
Just keep an eye on Stewart. He's going to read the eyes of the quarterback the whole way. Look at how he extends the receiver. And
plus, he put his head down, too. Watch him put his head down.
Yeah, he actually puts his head down right into the shoulder.
Right. Oof.
You know, I don't think that's a penalty. I mean, how can you call that penalty?
Roughness, number 26.
How can you call that on Stewart? He gets hit in the side of the back. He doesn't lead with his helmet or his shoulder. Look at that. If you go back and watch it in slow motion, I mean, it's a bang-bang play. I get it. These aren't easy calls for the official, but the receiver is airborne, and he's the one that actually lowers his head.
Just saw his leg move. That is good. You see the injury, 4:39, first half from Oakland on CBS. Well, chance of Amari Cooper being helped off. He was out, and they brought the card out there, but Rich, good sign he's walking off under his own power. Stewart was in the tent. He was shaken up on the hit.
Yeah, just an unfortunate play. Just a violent collision between the safety and the receiver.
Now, Crabtree, who's been ejected, and Cooper probably out for the game with the penalty. 1st and 10 from the 11. Marshawn Lynch dancing, driving, breaking tackles to the 5. He is a tough one to bring down. Langley there, gain is 6 on the play. Put him inside to the 4.
He still has that jump cut. Watch the lateral quickness, his ability to kind of slide to his left and still get vertical and still break tackles. He's got a powerful lower body. And you have to have a plan when you try and tackle Marshawn Lynch. He usually makes the first defender miss.
5-time Pro Bowler. You thought, Rich, watching his tape, he looks as young now as he was like in playing like he did 5-6 years ago. 2nd and 3. And he was with Seattle and playing so well for the Seahawks. To Patterson. Dropped it. Flag. Langley, who was beaten on the first one. Going for Cordero Patterson. It's a shove, and it's on Langley. Remember, Talib is out, ejected, and Langley having to play that corner.
Well,
Moving on the field is an incomplete pass. Pass interference, number 27, defense, occurred in the end zone. First down at the 1-yard line.
Well, with Aqib Talib out of the game, this is where the Raiders are going to attack at Langley. I think he catches the football.
Is reporting as eligible.
I don't know that ever hits the ground. Watch this. I think he's got his hands under it. He's the one that pulls it up.
I think he did too. That might be challengeable.
Oh, no, it does move.
Okay, all right.
The question is,
good view right there by Chris Vincent, our director. Lynch is in. First and goal.
Got to run here a couple times.
Carr and to the end zone. Caught by Cook. Simmons defending. What a catch.
What a throw.
Jared Cook, touchdown.
This is really good coverage on the back end by Justin Simmons. It takes a perfect throw and catch to get it done in the back of the end zone. Just watch this throw by Carr. He puts a lot of air on it, throws it over the left arm of Justin Simmons, and it's just a great catch in the back there by Jared Cook. He gets both knees down. He's able to hold on to the football. Look at the extension there.
Terrific grab by Cook. Second touchdown reception of the season for the second leading receiver.
Going to look to see if the ball moved at all as he went to the ground.
First year with the Raiders. I guess we should never, even if it's clear cut, we should never say it's
I know. Just watch the ball as he's going to the ground. If it gets down, see it moves a little bit.
Running on the field.
Yeah, they're going to take that back.
Previous play is under further review.
That's not a touchdown.
It was moving. There's no doubt because
that's not a touchdown. Look, that ball's moving. You see, he doesn't have possession of it. There's no way they'll rule that a touchdown. I should be back in New York. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time out here.
Well, you know what? I'm going to make a quick call because I think you should be back in New York. No, I shouldn't. I don't want to lose you as a partner.
With you then? But clearly he doesn't have possession as he's going to the ground. If the ball slides or moves at all, then they're going to change that call. We had one like this last week in Green Bay.
We did. We were in Green Bay last week, and we had one exactly like it.
So you see right there, he's trying to gain possession. Now as he goes to the ground, you see the ball slide a little bit, and he's actually out of bounds right now. He's out of the back of the end zone.
You got to hold it through the catch, right, Rich?
Exactly.
That's what they say. That's the verbiage in the book.
So as he's going down, you watch this ball, it's going to move a little bit. See, it's down by his right thigh, and now he's trying to regather it in. Well, it's pretty clear to me, Kevin, that's not a touchdown.
Cook has had a couple 100-yard receiving games for this team this year at 126. Earlier in the season against Miami, 107 against Kansas City. He's played for Tennessee, the Rams, last year Green Bay.
He's been really good for Derek Carr with the struggles that they have had with Amari Cooper. And you look at where the Raiders are at now, they've got no Crabtree. He was ejected in the first series. Amari Cooper most likely won't return, and now you're without your two starting receivers, and so that's going to put even more of the onus, I think, on the tight end, Jared Cook. He has talked to New York, and let's see what the conversation says.
The receiver did not maintain control out of bounds on the ground. It's incomplete. It'll be third and goal from the 1 yard line.
Our referee today will be Rich Gannon. There's Cook.
You just watch.
It's moving. I mean, it's obvious.
Well, right here you see it. It slides down to his thigh. And
it'll be second and goal. Second and goal
from
the 1 yard
possession.
line.
Look, I think you bring Marshawn Lynch in the game and you
run
it a couple times.
74 is eligible. 74 is eligible.
Remember last week they had a critical 4th and 1 situation against the Patriots, and they actually handed it to Olawale, the fullback. The question was, why wasn't Marshawn Lynch in the game? You see Olawale, he's in here at the fullback position, but this is where the ball has to go.
Second down and goal.
Blue ID!
It's Lynch. Olawale tries to block. Davis has got him. Rides him down. But boy, it takes a bunch.
Doesn't it?
He got to the 1. First hit by Davis. Second hit by Marshall. And no gain. We'll say maybe a half-yard gain on the play. Nothing more.
Good penetration there. You look at Kerr was in there, and Davis, Shane Ray.
I mean, it takes 5, Rich. 5 guys to bring him down. Todd Downing. Let's see what he's got dialed up here on third and goal.
It may be 4 down territory.
Yeah.
You look at a team that's lost 3 of the last 5. I mean, this may be a situation where Del Rio turns to his offensive coordinator and says, we're gonna go for it on 4th down. So think about another call if we don't get it here.
Blue ID! What's up?
3rd and goal. Here comes Lynch. Got a nice block from Osemele. That is a touchdown. Marshawn Lynch. Osemele leads the way, the left guard. Lynch is in the end zone for the 5th time this season. And the Raiders build their lead.
Well, as I said at the beginning of the game, the focal point has to be more of Marshawn Lynch the rest of the way. You see Osemele, he gets the kick-out block on the safety Parks. And you just hand it to your big back. Let him do the rest.
Tavecchio. 14-0 the Raiders. If they go on to win, they'll be within a game of first place after beginning 2-0, losing 4 straight, losing 6 of 8 coming in. Boy, they could really be in good shape. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Garmin. For the game, Rich Gannon was talking about Lynch. He has to touch the ball more. He's got to put his fingerprints on this game. He's done exactly that. He's got a 20-yard pass. He's run the ball well, and he just got a 1-yard touchdown run.
And I said you need to wear him out. You need to keep feeding him the rock. And look at those touches, 11 last week, most coming in the first half. 13 already today.
Tavecchio with the kickoff. Booker will leave it in the end zone. 25-yard line. Paxton Lynch will have it 1st and 10. Coming up from our CBS studios in New York, the Verizon Halftime Report. JB and Company for news, scores, and highlights. It's the Verizon Halftime Report next on CBS. 2 straight touchdowns by the Raiders.
Well, they've got to find a way to get Paxton Lynch going here a little bit. You've got a 2-minute drill here to finish out the half. Even a field goal here would be huge for the young quarterback's confidence.
With the 1st and 10, Anderson to the backfield to the sideline, and he one-hops his receiver. That is Emmanuel Sanders. It is incomplete. Lynch, the 3rd different starting quarterback for Denver this year. First start since week 13 of last season. Rich, he hasn't played since. As a starter, he's 1-1.
Well, he's got to knock the rust off. You're right. Hurt the shoulder in the 3rd preseason game. He's only been practicing a couple weeks. We saw he made 2 starts as a rookie last year against Jacksonville and Atlanta with mixed results. Just hasn't seen the field, and the speed of the game so much different than what you expect having played the preseason.
4 defensive backs, 2nd down and 10. Paxton Lynch going deep for Thomas and knocked away with Smith having a chance for it. The 6'2 Smith, one of the tallest corners in the NFL, incomplete. Emerson is out today for the Raiders.
But this is what you have to do. You have to attack these corners of the Raiders. I mean, they've given up so many big plays. Smith isn't a guy that's playing with a lot of confidence right now. I like the fact that they're taking some shots down the field. This is where you make your money as an NFL quarterback on 3rd down, especially 3rd and 10 against a defense that has 2 good edge rushers in Mack and Irvin.
3rd down and 10. Here comes Lynch. Needs a 35. He's not going to get there. Hit by Autry. Whacked in the play by Irvin, who made the initial hit. They lose 2. That is a sack. They are back at their 23, and they put the punting unit back out there again.
What they do is they get the speed rushers up the edge, and it forces the quarterback to step up inside. You see Irvin, he gets up the field. Mack gets up the field, and then you got the defensive tackles. They're waiting back up inside for Paxton Lynch to step up in their pocket.
Mario Edwards getting in there too. The Raiders defensively have not had a lot of sacks this season. An NFL low 14. They got a couple sacks today. As they go at the 2nd-year quarterback Lynch.
Somebody other than Khalil Mack has to step up for the Raiders. Kevin, you mentioned just 14 sacks. Mack gets doubled almost every play. So there's one-on-one matchups. It's got to come from someone other than Mack at times.
Can you believe it? The reigning defensive player of the year, they had only 14 sacks coming in, and Mack had only had 1 in the last 6 weeks. Riley Dixon.
Not a good punt.
Waving it off is Richard. Inside the 40. In fact, right at the 40, it'll die. Oakland's got a timeout in 2:19 with which to work. Saturday, Georgia looks to avenge the regular season loss to Auburn. Auburn riding high. They knocked off #1 Alabama yesterday. The SEC Championship on CBS. Coverage begins with CBS Sports college football pregame shows Saturday, 3 Eastern. Auburn defeated Georgia, by the way, a couple weeks ago, convincingly, 40-17.
Well, that last series by the Broncos was disappointing. A 3-and-out, but not only that, you turned the football back over in great field position to Derek Carr with 2:19 on the clock and a timeout.
Washington the back in the draw play on 1st and 10. Pecco, you see that hair flying around. So many great seasons with Cincinnati. A gain of a yard to the 41.
I like Domata Pecco. I just like his energy. He doesn't take plays off. He does a lot of the dirty work inside along that defensive line.
123rd consecutive start today. 2-minute warning.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. And by New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life.
Back in Oakland, over the Bay Bridge we came today. Patterson, bottom of your screen. Crabtree ejected. Cooper injured in the locker room. 2nd down and 10. 1 timeout. Derek Carr underneath. And he's got DeAndre Washington. Number 5 all-time runner at Texas Tech. 2nd leading rusher in the Big 12. 15-yard catch and run right there. Put him at the 45 and a 1st down. Nice little play, picking up some time. Carr's numbers are good.
He's going to have to really earn his money, though, the rest of the way, Kevin. He's without Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree, his top 2 receivers.
It's Washington. Nice stick right there by Will Parks, who comes up and makes the stop. A little more than a gain to get inside the 45. We mentioned this before. Wolf is off on that defensive line at Denver. Neck injury, will not return in the game, and Talib was ejected too when he got in that scuffle with Crabtree. As Paxton Lynch is starting today as they look at the future. 2nd and 9. Penn with a good block. And almost picked off, going for Patterson. Simmons was back there and Roby was right in front, and it's incomplete, and 58 seconds to play in the half.
Terrific play by Roby. He's going to dive in there at the last minute and knock this ball away from Cordero Patterson. Just watch Roby. He's going to come flying in there at the end. Carr thinks he's got a completion. You see Patterson, he could come back to the ball, but look at the effort by Bradley Roby.
Carr's got a touchdown pass today, 9 yards to Cooper. 23rd touchdown pass allowed by the Broncos. That's 10 more than they allowed all of last season. 3rd and 9, a lot of pressure.
Jailbreak.
Dumps it off. Roby, nice open field tackle on DeAndre Washington. With a move down to the 42.
Well, it looked like they had something going, but what a terrific play by Roby.
This is
Back-to-back
the
plays.
Charge timeout, Denver. 30-second timeout.
Denver's got a couple. Coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Hold on now. Let me just get this in there, sir. Coming up on the Verizon halftime report, join JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, and Coach Cower for some NFL scores, news, and highlights. All coming up next from our CBS studios in New York, the Verizon halftime report. You've had a couple times now to get a chance to visit with Vance Joseph, first-year head coach of the Broncos.
Just watch this. Just watch this play down the field. Stop it right here. This is the block you've got to make. I mean, this has got a chance to be a big play. But Kevin, we talked about, you don't practice. Patterson's not practicing a lot because you got Cooper and Crabtree taking all the reps. But what a terrific play by Bradley Roby. That may have been a touchdown. I mean, they were blitzing. They had the perfect play called a screen, and Patterson doesn't get the block on the perimeter.
So it is 4th and 7. Marquette King is on the field for the Oakland Raiders. Wind we thought would be a factor. It is not. Barely blowing. And the temperature about 60, and the rain is held off. So far, so good. A little slick on the surface between the 4 and 6 Raiders and 3rd place in the West. The last place, Denver Broncos. Well, you don't say that much, do you? Huh? The last place, Broncos in the West, 3 and 7. King trying to get it inside the 20. Looks to be close. Taylor is back there and caught by Patterson. Marooning him at the 1. With 42 seconds to play in the first half, a 41-yard, well-placed punt by one of the best in the business, Marquette King.
Great concentration there. And he's down.
Sure is.
Well, you look at the Denver offense, it's not been good in the first half. Paxton Lynch, 5 of 10 for just 22 yards. Look at this. They've been outscored 133-31. They've been slow starters. They have just 50 yards of offense against a Raider defense that couldn't stop anybody last week.
And coming into the game, the Raiders have been outscored by 45 points in the first half and by 32 alone in the second. But not today. 14 points on the ground. Lynch through the air. Cooper. First and 10, Lynch.
Just want to run the ball here and get to the locker room and make some adjustments at the half.
Janovich, would you have started Paxton Lynch today at quarterback with Simeon, and they put down Osweiler? He's inactive.
You know, I think if you really ask the coaching staff, and Bill Musgrave in particular, Kevin, who's calling the plays today, what his preference would be, it would be Trevor Simeon, a guy that they can handle the volume, a guy that they probably trust a little bit more with the offense. But you've got to find out about Paxton Lynch over the next 6 weeks. I mean, that's the key. You got to find out if this guy's a legitimate NFL starter or not, and that's what these next 5 or 6 weeks are all about.
And it was not Musgrave's decision to start him,
It
correct?
was not his decision, according to Bill Musgrave. I asked him, were you intimately involved in that decision? He said, that was above my pay grade.
Shutout being thrown by Oakland so far at halftime. It's coming up next after this first half.
It's the end of the
And these
first
highlights
half.
from Verizon and a word from your local CBS station. Oakland, California, 14-0 Raiders on top. Let's take a look at the gain of the first half involving the Bronco quarterback Paxton Lynch on the fly and the deflection to Bowman. First interception of the season by the Raider defense. You'd think that'd be one of the big stories of the first half. Rich, it was not the big story of the first half.
No, that obviously tempers flared early, Kevin, between Michael Crabtree and Aqib Talib. Clearly these guys have some history together. You go back and look at the second possession of the game, and you see the fight, and of course, you see him rip off the gold chain of Michael Crabtree for the second time. This isn't the first time he's done it, and then they start to throw the haymakers, and both get ejected, along with Raiders right guard Gabe Jackson. You see Crabtree watch it from the booth here in the second half, and you got to ask yourself, what's more expensive? Is it the fines or is the gold chains that he keeps losing to Aqib Talib? But clearly that was bad. I mean, you talk about not putting yourself in those situations to be able to control your emotions, and now we've got Derek Carr in a very important game for both these teams, but particularly the Raiders, who are just one game out of first place in the AFC West. He has to play the second half without Michael Crabtree, his top receiver, and Amari Cooper, who was injured in the first quarter.
That's out of the end zone. Remember, Denver won the toss. They deferred. And they take it to the 25 with a touchback, 1st and 10. Here is Paxton Lynch in his third career starting what he's done today.
Well, he's struggling. Hadn't had a lot of opportunities. Just 5 of 10, just 22 yards. He threw the ugly red zone interception. He's been sacked a couple times. And now they've got to find a way to settle him down a little bit and get him in rhythm. Find some high completion percentage throws, some throws that he has a history with, but boy, they've got to be able to crank things up here in the second half.
And as we've said, the new offensive coordinator taking the place of the fired Mike McCoy is Bill Musgrave, and it was not his decision, as we talked about, Rich, at the end of the first half, not his decision to make the start at quarterback with Booker in motion out of the backfield in a 1st and 10, and Lynch outside, caught by Booker, forced out of play by Corey James. It is a gain of 4. He's to the 28. So the decision, you said you would not have started him, but somebody has said that they had to start him today.
Well, look, if I'm coaching for my job or I'm just trying to win games, I think you go with Trevor Simeon. If you're trying to figure out whether or not you've got to look for a quarterback in the offseason, look, Simeon has struggled. Obviously, Brock Osweiler struggled. And now we see Paxton Lynch. And they've got to find out over the next 6 games, is this kid the long-term answer at quarterback, or are we in the quarterback market in 2018?
Booker on 2nd and 7. Loses his hat and takes it off to the side with no gain on the play. There's John Elway. He's been a part of this organization for so long, 23 years, as either a player or a guy in the front office.
But there's been a lot of change since 2011, Kevin, and that's a problem. They've had 3 head coaches, 4 offensive coordinators, 4 defensive coordinators, and 6 different quarterbacks. As I said, it's too much change in key areas of your organization.
And to think, Rich, they're less than 2 years removed from a Super Bowl win.
Things look a little different without Peyton Manning at quarterback. I mean, that's the problem right now. All 3 quarterbacks have struggled so far this season for the Broncos.
3rd down and 8. And they get the first down. Emmanuel Sanders hit by Joseph. They get the first, capturing yardage to the 37. He picks up 12, and they move the chains.
You got to find a way to get Emmanuel Sanders the ball more in this offense. He is dangerous with the ball in his hands in space. He's got the speed to get vertical, and as I said, you can't get back on that plane and head to Denver without challenging this Oakland secondary. These corners have really struggled this season. Got to be able to take some shots.
Charles is in 1st and 10. Knocked away, it's loose. He vacuumed in by Paxton Lynch. He gets back up, tries to dive, loses some time back there. Autry was back there, loss of 6 on the play.
Look how quick Irvin was off the snap.
Yes.
He catches Bowles. One of the issues with a guy like Paxton Lynch, he's 6'7". He's got a low ball carriage and some security issues in the pocket.
When we were that tall, where do you hold the ball?
Well, he's got a tendency to carry. You watch him in his drops, the ball's below his sternum. And if I was coaching him, I'd want that ball up around the collarbone.
2nd down, 14, Booker. Out near the 35. And around his ankles, he's got Mack with a gain of 2 on the play. What a weird couple weeks for the Broncos, Rich. 3 players let go, a coordinator fired, a second quarterback benched, a fights at practice, and the GM, John Elway, we just saw, called the team soft at one point over the last couple weeks.
Well, I think they're frustrated, and rightfully so. As you look at Vance Joseph, and he made the change with the coordinator, he said things weren't getting any better. We had 17 turnovers in 5 weeks. We need to be more efficient, and it starts with the passing game. That's where they've struggled. They've run the ball well enough. They play well enough at times defensively, but where they have really struggled is throwing the football.
Nickel secondary, 3rd and 12. Look out, here they come again. Autry coming through, 2nd sack today. They have had a hard time containing him. They lose 8, and they're back to the 27. They'll punt.
Boy, Autry's having a terrific time of it. You just watch him here against the right guard, Ron Leary, and then Leary for some reason just turns him loose. I mean, Paxton Lynch has no chance.
Riley Dixon. Richard. Good hang time, and there's the coverage downfield, as you can see, and Anderson among a couple. Parks, Jones, all down there. Raiders on top on a touchdown pass and a touchdown run.
And back here in Oakland, you see Michael Crabtree ejected in the 1st quarter. He's sitting in the stands watching. Same thing happened with Marshawn Lynch, who was ejected against the Chiefs on a Thursday night game.
Lynch on 1st and 10. And Shaq Barrett, he'll climb on his back, bring him down, gain of 2 to the 36.
This happened earlier. You look at Marshawn Lynch. He runs out onto the field. There's a fight breaking out, and he's trying to get in there and break it up. He pushes the official. He gets ejected. Actually gets suspended the following week. Wasn't able to play against Buffalo. He headed to the locker room and then showered up quickly and jumped up into the stands and watched his team.
He was trying to help his friend Cooper, who's from Oakland as well, the defensive back for the Chiefs, to get out of harm's way.
But you can't do it. You can't leave the field. And again, these you got to exercise some judgment. False start there on Von Miller.
Simmons will make the stop on Lynch on that 2nd down and 8. His progress got him to about the 36. Flag thrown. Looks like Vaughn picked it up.
Offside, number 58, defense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
It'll be frustrating for Von Miller. You know, the defense has been on the field a lot, struggling offensively. He gets double teamed so much, Kevin. I went and watched what Cincinnati did and what the Patriots did. They weren't going to allow him to take over the game and be disruptive. And the Raiders, it's the same thing. He's getting chipped. He's getting double teamed. They're sliding the line. They're not going to let him be a factor in this game.
What a player. Top 10 sacks this year. Finished 2nd in the voting to the NFL Defensive Player of the Year a season ago, which Mack won. On the other sideline for the Raiders, 2nd and 3. Lynch is in. Follows the pin block and the Yosemite block and holding on for dear life and not letting go. To his credit, Todd Davis. Gain of 6, though. 1st down run, 47-yard line.
And you got to keep feeding him. He's got 15 carries already, just 46 yards rushing, but he's a back that seems to get stronger as the game goes on. He can wear down a defense if you give him enough opportunities. Just mentioned the tackle, just holding on. Todd Davis doesn't go down easily.
Remember, we're talking about a Bronco defense, number 3 in the NFL, top 5 in run and pass defense. Only they and Carolina in the top 5. 1st and 10. Patterson, jet sweep. Cordero Patterson looking to work down that sideline. Flag thrown. Ran out of real estate, shoved on the play and out of bounds. Looked like by Stewart. 8-yard pickup, 44-yard line of Denver.
All these Raider guys wear a lot of chains, don't they?
They do.
After the shuttle pass and during the run, holding number 16 offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's still 1st down.
That's receiver Johnny Holton, who had missed some practice this week in concussion protocol.
Yeah, he's going to grab.
He sure is. Langley.
Yep. Well, he had a penalty last week, too. Personal foul penalty in the end zone.
Raider offense comes in number 21. They have failed to score more than 17 points in all of their losses. They have 6 of them. When they've won, they've averaged 32 points a game. They're 4 wins. 1st and 10. And across the middle they go. It's caught there by Johnny Holton out of Cincinnati. Brought down by Roby. They throw at Roby a lot. The most, in fact, of anybody in the Broncos secondary. Gain of 4. They're up to the 47.
Well, think about it. What would you do if you've got Aqib Talib and Chris Harris, 2 Pro Bowl corners? You're going to work at their 3rd best corner, and that's, of course, Bradley Roby. But you look what the Raiders have done, Kevin. Now that Aqib Talib's out of the game, they've been going after Brandon Langley up here. And this is where I'd continue to work. That's their 4th best corner.
I'd like to apologize. I said it was 1st and 10. It was 1st and 15. Now 2nd down and 9. A long 9. Lynch gets the call here. They roll him up. Kerr, Davis, all making a stop. Shane Ray at the bottom of that pile, playing with a bad wrist and ankle today. They lose a yard.
You know, if you're going to have success throwing the ball against this Denver secondary, you better have receivers that can win at the line of scrimmage versus press coverage, and receivers who can win and separate versus man-to-man, because you're going to see a lot of it. They play a ton of man coverage. We talked to Chris Harris last night. We're talking about playing with his eyes in the backfield a little bit. He said, I can't do that. We play so much man-to-man coverage. They challenge these receivers.
Enjoyed our conversation with him last night here in the San Francisco, Oakland area. 3rd down, and we'll call it 10. And a timeout.
Charge timeout, Oakland.
7:17 to play in the 3rd.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. FedEx. Sign up for FedEx Delivery Manager. And by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Raiders and Bronco players distributing meals, handing out Thanksgiving turkeys. 3rd down and 10 after the timeout. Going deep. He's got him! He's got Holton! Inside the 10. Johnny Holton. Stewart makes the stop. He'll be down to the 6 with a 48-yard strike by Derek Carr. 1st and goal.
Boy, this took a while to develop, but he's just inside. He's going to run the post. You see the safety gets so wide. Stewart has a difficult time making it up, and you look at Harris, he's expecting help over the top from Stewart.
How about Holton? The first time they played, Rich, back on October 1st, he had a 64-yard touchdown reception against the Broncos.
And he's their speed demon. With Cooper out of the game and Crabtree, that's where they have to go down the field. He's got great straight line speed.
1st and goal, Richard in the backfield. Blocked by Penn to the end zone, touchdown. Richard, the running back. 6-yard touchdown pass, and the 2nd touchdown pass today by Carr.
This is where they want to go. They want to attack the safety. For some reason, they turn him loose. They're playing zone coverage. Parks gets wide in between Marshall, and Jalen Richard's able to squeeze in between the linebacker and safety.
First touchdown reception this year for Richard. There you take a look at Stewart, but in the vicinity too is Parks. 66-yard drive. After the initial punt by Denver to start the second half, Tavecchio. 20 flag. 21-0 as it stands. 6:22 here in the third quarter. Kansas City has lost.
Running into the kicker, number 27 of the defense. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Chargers won on Thanksgiving. If the Raiders win, you'll have 3 teams within a game in the AFC West. Holton caught a long one for 48, and Richard took it to the house. Derek Carr, the 2-time Pro Bowler, has thrown 2 touchdowns today. And here is the ensuing kickoff after a 6-yard touchdown pass to his running back. Here comes Booker from the 1 and brought down hard by Luani. He's got parents here from American Samoa to watch for the first time. Here's a look at what's going on in the West, Rich.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, you look at the Broncos, Kevin, they've lost 6 straight. The Raiders 3 of their last 5. How about the Chiefs? They start 5-0. They're 1-5 since. And, of course, the Chargers probably playing the best football right now in this division. But, look, you look where the Raiders are at. The reality of it is that they're just 1 game back if they can get a win here today against the Broncos.
They have 3 teams within 1 game, but those Chargers are red hot. 1st and 10. Charles in the backfield. Paxton Lynch the handoff. And he'll push a pile and keep his legs a-turning out near the 20-yard line. Hester among a couple out there to make the stop. Also in there, Cowser.
Well, there's John Pagano, and he was informed on Tuesday morning that he was going to be the coordinator. He said his first priority was really to get this team to believe and play with some confidence. And then he talked about kind of creating an identity because they don't have one right now. When you look at what they've done on defense and have to believe and trust in one another and their system of football. And finally, the players have to take ownership. This isn't about the coaches. It's about the players on the field taking ownership and playing with some passion.
Paxton Lynch, 2nd down and 7. Nice catch made. Knocked out by Smith is Demaryius Thomas. He picks up 5, and by the way, with an earlier catch, over 600 in his career. He, Sharp, and Rod Smith in Bronco history, breaking that 600 mark.
Well, despite the struggles at quarterback, Demaryius Thomas still manages to be productive. Leads a team with 53 receptions. He's a bigger receiver who will reach and extend for the ball outside his frame. Got to get him going. Look at the separation. Look at the
3rd down and 2. Good catch, hard catch made by Sanders, covered by, let's see, Carey and Smith right there. And looks to be just shy by the length of the football on that spot. What do you think, Rich?
Well, they've got a couple problems. One, that quarterback is hurt. You watch Paxton Lynch. He's actually laying down on the sideline. I don't know if he pulls a hamstring or what. Just watch this. A little sprint. Oh, yeah, you can see right there.
Yep.
I think he pulled a muscle.
You're right.
Maybe that right hamstring or right calf or something.
He missed most of camp, hurt his shoulder. And here comes Trevor Siemian warming up on the sideline, who has started 7 games this season for the Broncos and began 3-1. Then the bye, then the 6 consecutive losses.
I don't know if it's a cramp or a muscle pull, but clearly when he pushed off to his right, he pulled up prior to throwing that football. Just watch. Just watch his gait right there. You see how he changes it up a little bit? He's going to throw the football. Then right after he throws the football, he knows there's something wrong. You see him jumping on that left foot. Can't put the weight down on that right foot.
Now it is 4th down, less than the length of a football.
I think you got to go for it, Ken. You're down 21-0, but look, you haven't done anything on offense. You've lost 6 straight games. You're 3-7, and your season's on the line. I'm not going to punt the ball back to Derek Carr and the Raiders and give him the ball in good field position. I'm going to go for it right here with my quarterback who's
Denver also made
off the
challenges.
bench.
They've just thrown out the challenge flag.
Watch him extend the ball. I think he gets it.
Well, I think right there with that lunge he did, Rich, holding the ball as he went out of bounds.
Watch the right hand.
Denver is challenging the spot of the foul as short of the line of game.
Well, it had to get to the 25-yard line, and Sanders smartly extends the ball with his right hand towards the sticks. Just watch his right hand.
And was his foot, though, where was his foot? Was it on the chalk?
Part of the problem is that was a good angle, but Sean Smith was in the way.
Well, I think he was in as he lunged, and the ball was, it looked like past the 25.
Yeah, we know his right foot is in. Now watch the ball. You got to assume that the ball, I mean, look where his foot's in between the 24 and the 25-yard line, and see the hand there? Problem is Sean Smith's in the way. It kind of blocks the angle from our sideline camera. It's a tough one. You know, at least these spot challenges are always tough.
Very difficult.
They're usually screened because of a defensive player. You know, you get a big scrum and a pile, and you're trying to figure out where the ball is, and a lot of times you just simply can't tell. There are too many bodies in the way.
So it's either 4th and inches or it's a first down. Either way, it looks like we're going to see Trevor Siemian, if not now, then later on in the next possession.
And Trevor Siemian hasn't played for a while, Kevin, right? It was Brock Osweiler the last couple of weeks, and so he's rusty. You know, he didn't get many practice reps this week. The official's right there.
He has looked, he has conferred with New York.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It's 4th down.
Not surprised.
Denver will be charged with their first timeout of the second half.
And they will punt.
You just couldn't tell from the angle. You can't assume.
Do you think had Lynch been okay and it was 4th and inches that they would have tried going it for 4th and inches?
I don't know. I get the sense they were going to punt regardless,
yeah,
so
okay.
they came up short.
Right.
Now, Trevor Siemian's going to be over there trying to get that right arm loose.
Here is the punt. Riley Dixon will send this deep. Carey's got it. Now, the interesting thing about Dixon, he appeared to have made a kind of a limping move to the sideline the last time he punted. But he punts right there. Autry's been a beast on defense.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Under 5 to play here in the third. A punt moments ago by Denver. Their second of the half. It's 1st and 10. Lynch in the backfield and the call. Penn the block. Semele the block. Pecco the tackle. With the gain to the 37-yard line, picking up 3. Paxton Lynch over trying to warm up on that Denver sideline a couple seconds ago actually, just trying to loosen up. We can't tell if it's a calf of ankle. I mean, it's a hamstring. We don't know.
Lower extremity injury. You know, could be anything, Kevin. It's good news to see him moving around a little bit, though. It's probably some type of muscle pull. And look, when you don't play, you don't practice for a long time, you come out, the speed of the game much different than what he experienced in preseason. That's really the last time he played against the Packers in week 3.
2nd down and 7. Von Miller's going to grab a hold of Lynch as he takes it past the 40 to the 43 with a gain of 6. As I'm saying that call, they just said Lynch is done for the day. Ankle injury. And Siemian will come in.
Well, you know, when you say an ankle injury, you watch his foot there. You know, I didn't see him turn the ankle, so you don't know if it's an Achilles, an ankle. You don't know what it is, but that's obviously not good news for Paxton Lynch. As you see him over there, he's pretty disappointed.
Those may be tears.
Yep. You get a chance, and you want to do so well. And look, he played 2 games last year. This is an unbelievable opportunity for him, and he winds up getting hurt during the second half.
What a nice sticking back of the line of scrimmage. Miller coming through, nailing Lynch. Loss of a yard. And the punting unit takes the field. Nice play. Some good run stopping today by Von Miller.
We talk so much about Von Miller, the pass rusher, but we don't talk enough about the fact that he's a complete player at that position. He's excellent against the run as well. Does a terrific job chasing runs down from the backside. Terrific at the point of attack. He does it all for the Broncos.
Marquette King, career year. He averages 50 yards a punt, 44.5 net. That's number 3 in both categories in the league. With heavy air here, gets a rocket up that Taylor will back up and catch at the 6. Hang a 4-9 on a 51-yarder, well-placed Marquette King punt. Here comes Trevor Siemian with Paxton Lynch injured and out for the rest of the game. What a season it's been for the Denver Broncos. They begin 3-1, Rich.
Yeah, with Trevor Siemian, they were off to a good start. He was playing well. Defense was playing lights out. We saw that shutout in person down there in Los Angeles. Osweiler's come in and played a little bit. Again, the turnovers continue to be a problem. Really haven't had any answers the last couple of weeks against New England. Last week against Cincinnati. And, of course, they decided to part ways with offensive coordinator Mike McCoy and replace him with quarterback coach Bill Musgrave.
Siemian incomplete, no one home. Demaryius Thomas was turning at about the 17. That ball went wide. Okay, now tell me, when you change quarterbacks like this, new coordinator, there's just so many moving parts here for Denver's offense.
Look at the call sheet. That call sheet was put together specifically for Brock Osweiler. For Paxton Lynch, excuse me. Now you've got to switch gears. Bill Musgrave, who just took over the play calling duties this week with a guy that probably didn't take any reps in practice.
Certainly not with the first team, right?
No.
Second down 10. Couple blockers giving some time. That's incomplete for Thomas. Smith covering. And they had Reggie Nelson underneath, who just about got in the way.
Here's the issue when you look at the Denver offense. When they're playing great defense, and they have the ability to do that, and when they're running the football with C.J. Anderson, Jamal Charles, and Booker, then the quarterback, Trevor Siemian, was able to kind of manage the game, and they were sound in the kicking game. But now that they're not running the ball as well, the defense hasn't been as dominant. They've struggled in the kicking game, and the quarterback play has been disappointing. The lack of consistency in production at the quarterback position has really been the downfall for the Broncos so far this season.
Third down 10, Trevor Siemian, double screen, no place to run, no place to hide for Sanders. All kinds of good coverage over there. There was no gain on the play.
This offense right now is making this Raider defense look like a top-tier, top-5 defense, and they're not. This was one of the worst defenses in football when you look at the Raiders. Look what Tom Brady did to this defense in Mexico. And right now, the Broncos can't make a first down. They've got 66 yards of offense through 3 quarters of football.
T.J. Carey made that last tackle, read it well. Beautiful punt by Dixon. Backpedaling. Richard back to the 34. Hang a 4-7. Out of bounds about the 43-yard line with the flag. At about the 43-yard line of Denver.
Well, John
those are tears. Doesn't your heart just ache for this kid getting a chance? He knew how important this start was.
And you can't imagine, Kevin, those are tears for a simple pull, hamstring or groin pull or an ankle.
Illegal block in the back, number 57.
You think it's an Achilles, don't you?
I think it's something significant.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
When you're a first-round draft choice and you're drafted by John Elway and you come to an organization like the Denver Broncos and you're given a chance with a lot of room to breathe here, it is hard to watch this kind of result with him in that position.
It's been hard for Paxton Lynch. Look, last year he lost out to Trevor Siemian. This year, again, there was quarterback competition between Paxton Lynch and Trevor Siemian. Once again, he had lost out to Trevor Siemian.
But with a new coordinator.
And a new coordinator, which is always tough, right? You keep changing coordinators. And then you sprain your right shoulder in the 3rd preseason game against the Packers. He's only been practicing a couple weeks. He gets a chance to start, and he gets hurt on a simple rollout to the right.
Carr has thrown a couple touchdown passes today. Lynch on 1st and 10 with the fake and to the sideline. That one is caught by Patterson right in front of Roby. Picks up 12. First down. He'll be at the 44.
Well, I like how they move the pocket a little bit. Don't allow Von Miller to be an issue. Move the pocket around a little bit. Might be one to look at. Is that right foot? Yep, I think he gets it in. jumped the ball quick, didn't they?
He sure did, and you know why. With a 1st and 10 and a quick handoff, and Marshawn will take it to the 47 with the gain of about 3.
Well, I'm looking at the carries for Marshawn Lynch so far today, Kevin. He's got 19 carries. Prior to this game, his season high was 18 in week 1. And that's going to be the key, I think, the rest of the way for the Raiders. Lean on the running game, and in particular, Marshawn Lynch. He needs to be more of a factor late in the season.
You just saw he's got 20 carries today and a touchdown run of a yard. With a 2nd down and 8, Lynch blocked by Lee Smith, the tight end. That opened the door, and it's a 1st down run inside the 45 of Denver. Hit there by a couple, including Harris.
Number 86, offense, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
The guy we thought threw the good block, Smith, is called right there for the penalty.
He just tackles him in the hole. I mean,
yeah. And that's what Von Miller's talking to him about. He's saying, hey.
He's going to actually.
Shaq Barrett.
Yeah, he gets.
Who he knocks down.
Right around the neck. Tackles him in the hole.
Lee Smith was injured with an ankle injury most of last year. Ken is a free agent from the Buffalo Bills back in 2015.
He's in there to block,
not
catch
sure
passes.
Is.
You look at Carr's numbers since the 1st quarter. He's been terrific, and again without Cooper and Crabtree. Carr 13 of 17, 159 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Washington in there, 2nd down and 18.
Screen.
Washington looking for a block there from Hudson. The big center trying to pull him through, and Davis will stop it. They get to the 43, gain of about 5. That will take us to the end of the 3rd. We'll return to Oakland after this message and a word from your local station. Watching the NFL on CBS.
At the end of the 3rd quarter.
Broncos at 3-7. They've lost 6 in a row. They're trailing right now 21-0. Oakland 4-6. They've lost 6 of their last 8, but a win today puts them within a game of 1st place, along with the Chargers of 1st place Kansas City, who lost. 3rd and 12. Richard with the block out there from Roberts, and hanging on for dear life is Chris Harris out of Kansas. He drags him for 7. The gain to the 50, shy of a 1st by 5. Here comes Marquette King to punt.
No, Harris gets up limping.
And he was knocked out of the game earlier, too. Talib has been ejected.
The Denver defense has been on the field way too long. Raiders have 11 more minutes of possession time through the first 3 quarters of the game. 3rd down has been a killer for the Denver offense. Just 2 of 10 on 3rd down. They've got to find a way to get something going here in the 4th quarter with their backup quarterback, Trevor Siemian.
3 of King's 5 punts have been inside the 20 today. He's very good at it.
Another one.
Misty now down to the 7, hang a 4-4. And it'll be Trevor Siemian and Denver with the ball. In the NFL today, it was a pretty stunning move with Tyrod Taylor as the quarterback for Buffalo, winning at Arrowhead. The Chiefs have lost 3 straight and 5 of 6.
But Philly continues to roll. Carson Wentz having an MVP-type season.
Aguilar head over heels.
How about the Patriots? They have absolutely dominated the Dolphins in the AFC East over the last decade. Look at Tyrod Taylor. Not bad, Kevin, after a 1-week layoff.
Brady with the terrific day you can see against the Miami defense, against this Oakland defense last week. Brady had a QBR of 132. 132 in Mexico City. 1st and 10 after the punt. Siemian, the quarterback for the injured Lynch. Blocked by Bowles, left tackle. Incomplete, looking for Green. Coverage by Bowman.
Now you got to try and settle down Trevor Siemian.
Yep.
Not easy.
And this is unnerving, Rich. I mean, you've been benched. You've had Brock Osweiler start last couple games. You didn't start today. You're the backup, and now you're back in there, and you don't even really probably know which direction your compass is pointed.
I've been in this situation before, and I can tell you that it's not a great spot. You know, it's not great for your confidence, because every time you make a mistake, you throw a pick, you think maybe I'm going to get yanked. They can't yank Trevor Siemian. They've got no one else to put in the game.
Nope. 2nd down 10. Fake to Booker. Here comes Siemian out of Northwestern. Green spins. He got by Smith, and he's drilled there late on the play by Reggie Nelson. 17-yard catch and run and a 1st down to the 23.
Really nothing changes, in my opinion, with Trevor Siemian. Look, it's all about finding completions against a Raider pass defense that has really struggled so far this season. So if I'm Trevor Siemian, every time I drop back, all I'm thinking is just find me a completion, even if it's to the back, a tight end on the check down, whatever it is. Give yourself a chance to make plays.
That's only the 4th first down for Denver today. Siemian on 1st and 10. On the move, needs the 33, chased by Nelson and brought down. Two-time Pro Bowler, including last year. Reggie Nelson makes the stop. He was with Jack Del Rio in Jacksonville, then went to Cincy, and now he's here in Oakland with a gain of 4 right there.
Would be a bad idea maybe to go no huddle, you know what I mean? If you're struggling a little bit to find your way on offense, sometimes going no huddle, changing it up, making it difficult for the Raiders to make substitutions, to dial up those pressures, jump the football, change the tempo.
You saw a picture of Brock Osweiler on that sideline, inactive today, 2nd down and 6. Blitz is on by Smith. That means he's wide open. That's Traylor. He is a big rascal at that tight end, and he takes it down the sideline. Nelson brings him down. It's a 33-yard catch and run by Austin Traylor. He was signed from the practice squad a couple weeks ago after being waived, watching A.J. Derby leave the roster.
He was wide open. They turn him loose. They blow a coverage on the back end. You see Nelson over there. That's a poor tackle. They bring the corner, Sean Smith, and you see Siemian, he lands right on his helmet.
The Traylor was signed off the practice squad back on the 18th of November. 1st and 10. Booker, who's been getting more carries. And he runs into a thicket right there, led by Edwards and others. Gain of 4. He's down to the Raider 36.
There you go, no huddle. See, I like this. You're looking at dejected Paxton Lynch over there.
We talked to him last night. Terrific kid.
He's so excited about the opportunity
so excited
to play.
about this.
He just wanted to go out there, cut it loose, and have some fun.
2nd down and 7. Siemian with a little rhythm right now. Fowler's got it. He's brought down by Carey inside the 30 at the 28. That's a pickup of 8, Rich.
See, I like this. I like going no huddle. Look, you're struggling on offense, and you got to do something different. Nothing's working. So why not pick up the tempo a little bit and put the pressure on this Oakland defense?
Booker stays. He looks into the nickel. 1st and 10. And outside again for Fowler. Knocked out by Nelson. Read it well, and T.J. Carey had the first hit. 26-yard line. Pickup of 3.
Good tackle there by the safety, Reggie Nelson. Watch him come in there late.
Del Rio's big complaint, Rich, was that they were not playing fast and furious on defense. They just were playing with the intensity they played with a year ago.
Yeah, he said that we needed to make a change, a difficult decision, but they needed a spark, and they couldn't continue to operate the way they were on defense. And as he said, he wants them to play fast and with some confidence and with their hair on fire. He said, if we do that and we lose, I can live with it. But the last couple of weeks, it just hasn't been that way. He hasn't been pleased with the effort and the performance and the passion of this Raider defense.
2nd and 6 for Siemian, going deep here, and he's incomplete with Traylor in his sights. Coverage by Carey, among others, downfield.
You know, when you make a change like that, like Jack Del Rio did, firing Ken Norton Jr., replaced him with John Pagano, I think you send a clear reminder and a message to everyone in the organization, and that is this is a performance-based business, and then if you don't win, change is coming. You could be the next guy.
C.J. Anderson is in now with the 3rd and 6 for Siemian. Into the Raider nickel. And that ball was deflected, and it wobbles incomplete. And I'm not sure who got up in his front, but it may have been Trayvon Hester, the rookie out of Toledo, with coverage right there by McDonald on the sideline.
He gets pushed in the pocket. He's not able to really set his feet and drive that ball. It sails him a little bit. You just watch. See the push up there. He's not able to finish with that right hand. And the ball sails over the head and shoulders of Emmanuel Sanders.
Looking for Sanders. And unfortunately for you and I, we've seen the Broncos shut out. We did that Charger game earlier in the year where the Chargers shut them out with the rain now falling. 4th and 6. Siemian deep for Latimer, caught for a touchdown. He beat Carey. Cody Latimer, first touchdown reception this year. On the touchdown throw by Trevor Siemian of 25 yards.
Well, nice design here by the Broncos. They motion him back in. He's here. He's going to run the wheel route, and he just works off the receivers in front of him. You can see he's going to go inside. He just works right off of that. He gets the one-on-one matchup, and it's actually a terrific throw by Trevor Siemian, giving Cody Latimer a chance to make the play over C.J. Carey.
So they burst the shutout. They get a point right there to make it 21-7 with 10:21 to play. Siemian in for the injured Paxton Lynch. 25 yards through the air to the end zone. Cody Latimer.
And back here in Oakland, you see the numbers. A disappointing day for Paxton Lynch. Left the game with an injury. Trevor Siemian came in and put together a really nice drive, a 10-play, 93-yard drive, ending in a 25-yard touchdown throw to Cody Latimer.
Onside kick and picked up and caught well by McGill. Keith McGill. Hands team was up there. Raiders were prepared. Great beginning position at the 48 at Denver is where they'll have it.
And he was ready for it, Kevin. He did a nice job not retreating too far. He's going to watch the football the entire way. McGill goes up and attacks it, high points it.
So
please reset the game clock.
If you're Vance Joseph, you're just trying to create another opportunity for your offense.
Last win for the Raiders. A couple weeks ago, a big one in Miami, but they lose last week in Mexico City. Starting the season 2-0, lost 4 straight games. Coming in, they've lost 6 of their last 8. But if they win today, they are within 1 game of first place, and there's Lynch.
This is Marshawn Lynch time.
1st and 10. He was hit high and brought down, and Zach Kerr was the one to get him. Losing 4. Let's go to New York and our CBS studios in James.
Ex-Cardinal scoring against the Cardinals.
That's right, JB. Blaine Gabbert dropping back, and he's hit by Ngakoue. The ball pops out, scooped and scored. Calais Campbell, he gets in the end zone, a little revenge on his old squad. Jacksonville takes the lead 17-16.
12:06 left in regulation. Back to Kevin and Rich.
All right, James, thank you very much. That defense of Jacksonville is everything
How about
for
the
them.
season that Calais Campbell is having
My
down there in
gosh.
Jacksonville?
Wow. Ngakoue, too, has been great. 2nd and 13 here. Carr, Cook, Simmons with the wrap-up and the takedown, and looks like they pick up about 2, nothing more to the 49-yard line.
Rain is really coming down.
Yes, it is.
I know that no quarterback likes playing in these conditions, but particularly not Derek Carr. He hates the wet ball. It's coming down hard. And
how do you prepare for that, Rich, during the week when this was in the forecast, obviously? They knew Wednesday.
They do a wet ball drill where they'll bring out a bucket and the center will dump the ball in the bucket and snap the ball to the quarterback. You can see once that ball gets saturated, it's so difficult to grip. Those laces get, see, and that makes it even worse when the center takes the ball and turns it, gets that paint from the field on it.
10 consecutive completions. On that 3rd and 11, look at Marshawn Lynch, tackled by Simmons. What a day Lynch has had. This is the Lynch they've been open for to the 23 of Denver. It is a catch and run of 23 and a first down.
He starts here and he's going to work all the way back across. Acts like he's blocking the edge. You see him, he steps up in there like he's blocking, and then he just leaks out. You've got an athletic center, that Rodney Hudson, he gets out in front. He gets a block.
Patterson had a block.
And this is what you want. You want beast mode up on the 2nd level.
Left retirement to come play for the team he grew up rooting for. He grew up here in Oakland. On a 1st and 10, Lynch.
I think early
Miller
in the
from
season,
behind got him down.
I think early in the season, Kevin, they were concerned about his endurance. But now that you're in a situation where you've got 6 games to go, as I said to begin the show, you've got to keep handing this guy the football. He needs his touches. He's a throwback type of back, a back that can get stronger and wear down a defense as the game goes on. He is a tough tackle, physical downhill runner. And they need to bring some of that attitude to an offense that really it's kind of lost its way the last month of the season. 22 carries already for Marshawn Lynch. And it's not like he's rushed for 100 yards.
No,
it's just
right.
55 yards. But it's the constant pounding.
Second
It's the
and
wear
7
and
here.
tear.
Goes into the secondary, and Shelby Harris will bring him down after a gain of 8, and that is a first down as the Raiders will take it.
You know, he's averaging less than 3 yards a carry, but it's the volume. It's the 23 carries, and you look at how that equates to time of possession. The Raiders have had the ball for almost 12 more minutes in this game. That keeps your defense on the sidelines. That keeps your defense well rested. You look at the number of plays. The Broncos have had only 45 offensive plays so far this game.
They're at the 13. 3 times today. Raiders have had it in the red zone. 3 touchdowns the result. We got flags. Looks like a false start. It is. With 6.5 to play in the 4th. And some shoving after the play, and there they go once again to break him up. We had a huge breakout back in the first quarter. Big hootenanny. And we had players ejected.
False start, number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
John Feliciano taking the place of Jackson, who was kicked out because he ran into an official over there trying to break up
on the game clock.
the fight.
Well, you look at this Denver defensive line right now. Just saw Domatel Peko. He was going to the locker room limping. Derek Wolf's not in there. So
he's out with a neck injury.
So you've got 2 of your interior defensive linemen not in there, and that's one of the reasons why the Raiders have had some success running the ball up inside between the tackles.
The 3 starters out. Aqib Talib ejected. Wolf and Peko on the line. 1st and 15. Cook dropped it. Coverage by Roby. All right, next week on CBS, all about the playoff. Patriots, Bills, Chiefs take on the Jets, Chargers and Browns, Jacksonville and Indianapolis. Check your local listings and kick off the day with JB, Phil, Coach Nate, and Boomer on the NFL Today, 12 Eastern on CBS. The Denver Broncos had beaten Oakland 2 straight and 10 of 12 heading in, including week 4 this year, 16-10. 2nd and 15, Lynch with the slip, the flag, the tackle, and that made by Shane Ray at about the 17, 3-yard gain.
Well, he's got a certain demeanor when he carries the football, Marshawn Lynch, doesn't he?
He does.
I mean, it's violent. You better make sure that chin strap is buckled nice and tight when you go in to try and tackle him.
Illegal formation. Number 73 was uncovered on the end of the line. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Starting right tackle, Marshall Newhouse. Rich, when you played on the road and we're trying to figure out on a wet surface what kind of shoes to wear, because I know that's a big concern for the players.
Denver has elected to decline the penalty. It'll be 3rd down.
How would you go about that? I mean, because it has.
The home team was doing, what their players, particularly the skill players, the defensive backs, the running backs, the receivers, what type of shoes were they wearing? Were they wearing molded bottoms? Were they wearing screw-ins? What type of cleats were they wearing? Because that's a pretty good indicator. They know what this surface is like. They know what this track is like, and I know from playing here, it's not great. You know, it doesn't hold the water very well, and it gets very slippery, especially between the hash marks.
Raiders started this drive on the 48-yard line and an onside kick by the Broncos after the 25-yard touchdown pass by Simmons. 3rd and 15. Washington was in. They're going for Cook with the coverage by Simmons. And no flag. Incomplete. 4th down. They'll try for 3. Let's go to New York, and again, James Brown.
Arizona back on top.
That's right. Gabbert drops back and he goes downtown to Jerron Brown. 52 yards. And how about Blaine Gabbert? It's Blaine's world. Party time. Excellent. Arizona leads 24-17.
9:07 left in regulation. Kevin and Rich.
Gabbert was an early draft choice by the Jacksonville Jaguars out of Missouri. Remember that?
I do
like
remember
number 10,
that.
I think, overall by Jacksonville. Now he's going back at his old team. 35-yard Field goal attempt here by Giorgio Tavecchio.
Well, he has been solid since taking over for,
Oops, what'd you just say?
He was solid since taking over for Sebastian Janikowski.
Misses a 35-yarder. Third miss of the season. Under 6 to go. Raiders in control.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Honda. And by Verizon. Best gifts on the best network.
All right, Tavecchio for Oakland just missed a 35-yard field goal. Broncos take over at the 25 with a 1st and 10. Charles in the backfield. Simeon dropped by Sanders. Coverage by Carey at the 30, incomplete.
You know, as I look at this Denver offense, I said earlier, everyone's got to play better around the quarterback. You know, guys can't drop passes. You can't whiff on a block. You can't put the ball on the ground. C.J. Anderson had a fumble last week, and that's really what's been happening when you really study the Denver offense. Clearly the quarterback has to perform better, but everyone around them has to play better. That simply hasn't happened over the last month and a half with the Broncos.
Nickel secondary, 2nd down and 10. Simeon moves up, needs the 35, and hits the deck at the 30.
They've got to pick it up. They've got to hustle now. They've got to kind of get in a 2-minute mode. Receivers got to run back to the line of scrimmage. Got to go up tempo here and down 2 scorers.
2 timeouts apiece and 5:20 as you can see the clock ticking here. 3rd and 5. 4 down territory, right, Rich?
You got it.
On the quick slant, caught by Atwise with both hands. A tough one right there, and he's brought down by Morrow. Demarius Thomas with the catch. They get the 1st down to the 37-yard line, 36-yard line of Denver.
He's a bigger receiver with that reach to extend, catch the ball outside his frame. I've always appreciated about Demarius Thomas.
6-yard pickup, 5 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons for him. 1st and 10, Simeon. That was incomplete, looking for Thomas, and Carey was in front, and Nelson wasn't back in at 2nd and 10.
And if you're Trevor Simeon, remember now, this is 4 down territory. Throwing the ball away on 1st and 10 isn't the end of the world. Just can't take a sack or turn the football over. There's another ball that, you know, sometimes you look at Demarius Thomas, occasionally he'll drop the easy catch when he's not focused. Not saying that was an easy one, but he's had a tendency to have some drops over his career.
Simeon, 2nd down and 10.
He's got him.
Charles, that could be a fumble, and it's picked up by Bowman.
Reeling on the field is an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
They rule it incomplete. I'd like to look at that again. 3rd and 10 coming up. Did he have it and turn?
This is a problem.
There you go.
You want to know what the problem is with this team? This guy's wide open. And you got to throw him the football. The protection's good. Just go ahead and freeze it right there. This is wide open. Throw him the football.
Rich?
Nope. Not sure that ball didn't come out. But I think they called forward progress. Got a quick whistle. Denver gets a break there.
3rd and 10. Charles remains. He'll get the call. He's got the 1st, and he's up 2 with a Joseph tackle to the 47. 12-yard pickup. 1st and 10.
We're still in this game. He's got to be smart if you're Trevor Simeon.
Well, that's one thing he is. He went to Northwestern. We know that. 7th round pick.
And he's probably more versed and more capable and certainly more experienced, Kevin, in their 2-minute no-huddle offense than is Paxton Lynch.
1st and 10. Bowles holding off his guy. And here comes Mack, and he goes right around Barber.
Throw it away.
Khalil Mack in the sack back to the 40. Mack with the sack. 5th one by the Oakland Raiders, who came in with the fewest of any defense in the NFL in 2 today.
Well, this is not good. You're asking your tight end, Austin Trailer, to block Khalil Mack. That's not good. One thing if you've got help from the tackle step down, they turn Mack loose on the tight end.
2nd and 17, pocket down again. Good footwork by Simeon. Incomplete as he looks for the tight end Trailer, covered by Joseph, and you saw the flags.
I don't know. I don't think these quarterbacks are necessarily seeing the field.
You sound like another guy I work with. You guys say the same thing every week. You know, you and Kurt Warner. The quarterbacks, and just all of them. The young quarterbacks have a hard time.
I'm looking at Emmanuel Sanders on the boundary. He's wide open.
Pass interference. Defense. First down at the spot of the foul.
Just watch Emmanuel Sanders. Now, once the quarterback starts to scramble, watch him put his foot in the ground. He's going to start coming back down the boundary. Look, he's got his hands up. Open. Throw it to him. That's the easier throw. The throw on the boundary is the easier throw as opposed to throwing it back across your body across the field.
Number 50. Number 50 on the pass interference.
First and 10. 2 timeouts. Down by 2 scores.
Handle the edges. Good protection.
Good time, you're right. And Simeon looks at the sideline and incomplete. And Latimer goes down, and they had a linebacker, Bowman, in the vicinity with the coverage.
And Latimer could have helped Trevor Simeon. Latimer's working across the field on the deep over. And now he's just got to throttle it down.
Here's a slip.
Yeah, he just throttle down. You're wide open. It's a tough throw for Trevor Simeon. You run out of real estate on the boundary.
And Simeon thought he was going to go to the sideline, but Latimer was cut more in toward the interior of the field. Second and 10. Charles remaining. With the pass to Latimer, knocked out of bounds by Sean Smith, right near the marker at the 35 on a gain of 10. Well, they mark him out of bounds. They say he's out of bounds at the 37, so he'll be shy by a couple yards. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Great opportunity for Trevor Simeon. So what do you have to lose? You've already got sat down. Just go out there, cut it loose. Chance to get your team back in it, to make it a one-score game. To make a couple throws here late.
Latimer 3rd down and 2. Downfield and has the ball. With a good throw there by Simeon.
This is why the Raiders...
He had him locked in early. Joseph makes the stop. 16-yard pickup and a first down to the 22.
And this is why the Raiders have just one interception. That goes right through the hands of safety Carl Joseph. They have struggled on the back end getting their hands on footballs. And when they do, they haven't been able to squeeze it and make the catch.
1st and 10 for Simeon. And downfield again and incomplete. Fowler. I'll make that Trailer, excuse me. Trailer was downfield and Nelson was all over him.
When you're up against the clock now, you got to start pushing the ball down the field a little bit.
The 2 timeouts remain. We've got the stoppage of play at the 2-minute warning. 2nd down and 10. Last possession, a 25-yard touchdown pass. Simeon to Latimer. With Devontae Booker in motion out of the backfield and looking into the Raider nickel. He's going to go deep, and he's got his man, and it's a touchdown! Fowler! He's got it! His first touchdown reception since opening night against the Chargers. 22-yard touchdown pass. Simeon, Fowler, and the Broncos are back in business.
Well, good protection. It starts with the protection up front. They get the 4 verticals, and you see Fowler. He's screaming right down the middle of the field over top the linebacker and in between the safeties. He's got the tight end outside and Fowler inside. Good throw there, gets it done.
He got 2 touchdowns week 1. He hasn't caught one since. The extra point is up and through by McManus. And a new one in Oakland. 20.
I think you kick it deep.
Well, they pooch it. And it will roll. And
Nice
Patterson
kick.
is going to let it lay at the 8. He'll pick it up. The #1 kick returner in the NFL. Gets away from a couple. Langley finally wrestles him down out to the 13-yard line. Denver in the last 2 drives, 168 yards. And the drives and day previous to that, 51. And Simeon has thrown 2 consecutive touchdown passes coming in for the injured Paxton Lynch. 1 of 25, 1 of 22. And the Denver Broncos are back in it.
You see him talking with offensive coordinator Bill Musgrave, some strategy there. I think it was the right decision to kick the ball down the field with 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning to stop the clock with 2:34 to go. You need a stop here from your defense to get the ball back.
Lynch is in with Carr. First down and 10 for Oakland.
Raiders need a first down to ice this game.
Roberts on the move. He'll offer a block as they try to seal, and a great defensive play made right there. Coming through, Shane Ray along with Stewart.
Charge timeout, Denver.
Terrific play. They throw him for a
timeout.
loss. Back to the 9. Loss of 5. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 minutes and a perfect Thanksgiving weekend story, followed by new episodes of Wisdom of the Crowd, NCIS Los Angeles,
on the game clock.
and Madam Secretary. Tonight, only CBS. Big defensive play right there. The clock is at 2:29 and stopped. And you see the West standings.
This is supposed to be one of the best divisions in all of football beginning of the season. So much talk about Denver and Oakland, and Kansas City races off to a great start. Now they've lost 5 of their last 6, and somebody's going to win the division.
Second down, 14. 1 timeout, Denver. Nickel secondary, 2 starters out on that defensive line. And there's a run by Lynch, and he just drags a big man like Zach Kerr with him for another couple yards to the 15.
Third and final timeout.
Gain of 5.
Denver, 30-second timeout.
Running hard, and the timeout taken, and the clock at 2:24. It will also stop, as we know, at the 2-minute warning.
You look a good look at Todd Dowling, the offensive coordinator for the Raiders. He's trying to figure out what he's got here on 3rd and 8.
What's your discussion points if you're the quarterback with your offensive coordinator right now?
Well, obviously you can't have anything bad happen, right? You can't have a sack or a turnover.
Yep.
And sometimes Kevin at Denver will crowd the line of scrimmage, maybe anticipating another run, and there's a chance to have a one-on-one coverage and maybe take a shot down the field and end this game. That's what I would do if I was the Raiders. I'm going to take a shot here. Maybe throw a go ball, maybe a jump ball. But the problem is you're without Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree, your 2 top receivers.
Lynch is out, and the fullback, Olawale, is in. 3rd and 8, needing the 23. In fact, just beyond.
Well, look, the whole middle of the field is open. There's no one here. You've got man-to-man coverage. Throw the ball and give someone a chance.
Here they come. Floats one up and caught by Patterson. What a throw! Brought down by Langley. He gets away. Cuts inside. Marshall can't get him. Harris tries to bring him down. What a play! 54-yard catch and run for the Raiders. Cordero Patterson.
This is a 2-minute warning.
The heavy rush and the acrobatic run. We are at the 2-minute warning.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things winter. And by State Farm, here to help life go right.
Broncos cannot stop the clock. They've used their timeouts. Victory formation for quarterback Derek Carr. Rich, you called this play.
Yeah, you go back and look at it in a critical situation. You've got man-to-man across the board. It's going to be a 7-man blitz, and they block him up. They're going to be one short. Derek Carr knows he can't hold the football, and he has the whole field to work with. He just throws up a little jump ball, just a little late down the middle, and gives Patterson a chance to make a play against blitzman coverage. You know, in a critical situation with the game on the line, Denver has to bring pressure.
He had Langley on him, too. Wasn't like they had a linebacker on him. He had Langley, a defensive back, on him. And not only did he give up the completion, but he couldn't tackle him. Well, for those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Broncos and Raiders. And the Oakland Raiders are on top with about a minute to play. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. And with the Raider win, they will, along with the Chargers, 2 teams that have had long losing streaks this season, catching up finally with at one time 5-0 Kansas City. They've lost 3 in a row, and they find themselves now all 3 of those teams within 1 game of each other. What a month of December it will be in the West with a big Raider win. They're second in the last 3 games. 2 Pro Bowlers, Carr and Miller. And the big play by that guy, Cordero Patterson.
Well, the game started with fireworks. It ended with fireworks for the Raiders.
The big play on 3rd and 8, a 54-yard completion. The Raiders to 5-6. The Broncos lose their 7th straight. For Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan, good night from Oakland. Let's take you to CBS in New York. Here is the award-winning James Brown.